We didn't crash. Knock on wood here.
Yay!
I did a new OBS update. So
Oh boy, those are always dangerous.
but I did it 2 hours in advance and hit a bunch of buttons and had, made sure I was doing a bunch of stuff and switching tabs and everything. So, is that Gengar?
Gengar? Where?
Yes, it is. I have a.
So cute.
I got it from a claw machine at an arcade a long time ago.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, Lee is here. Hi, Lee from Diesel Shot. Our friends over at Diesel Shot. Hello. Hydrate or die straight. Thank you.
Ooh.
Excellent. Welcome back, everybody, to Heavensfire again.
Hi.
First Heavensfire stream of the new year, and
I think we did one before.
Did we? Was
We
it
did.
like okay? Second official stream of the new. It feels like it's the first stream of the new year.
January 4th.
It is the first. It is the first one with a full cast.
This is true.
Yes. Okay. All right. That is true. Second official stream with a full cast. First official stream with everyone here, and I'm very excited to be back in full capacity, as it were, with a new administration team and great things on the horizon, a bunch of shows coming up in the future that I'm very excited about. Some announcements to be made out of the server, but more himbos. We have already spoken out of server about our upcoming himbo campaign for Into the Old Margrave. So casting for that is officially closed, but we're going to be making casting announcements over the next week, so stay tuned for that. It's essentially himbos in the woods in dire situations, trying to make the best of it while also being fabulous at the same time, kind of accidentally saving the world. We've also got some spooky eldritch stuff scheduled for sometime around October, and a lot more himbo stuff down the pipeline. So stay tuned for all of that good stuff. But let's go around the table and introduce ourselves. Of course, I'm Essie, or Aaron Spencer, your dungeon mistress and storyteller for the evening. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to hand it over to the rest of this fabulous table. So let's start with Harmony and Renee. Renee, who are you? And say hello to the people of the internet.
Hello,
Whatever you want to add.
My name is Renee. I am a VTuber over on my channel from No Ordinary Heroes. Pronouns are she, her, and today I'm going to be playing Harmony. Wait, I forgot how to pronounce her last name. Harmony Knives. Wow, that was a. Whew.
It's been
It's
too
been a
long.
while.
It's been a while. Oh my god. But I'm going to be playing Harmony Knives, my little Sawlock, Warsaw, however you like to pronounce it. I'm very excited.
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer. Yeah, a worst sorcerer.
All right, fantastic. And Rory, hello.
Hello, I am Rory. I use they pronouns. I will be playing Key, who is our they them warlock.
Awesome, thank you, Rory. And Avalon.
Hello, I'm Avalon. I voice act and I stream here twice every couple weeks. Speaking, oh, actually, never mind. That's for the end. Yeah, you can usually hear me voice acting with Faustian Nonsense, a podcast network, but I get around. I do other stuff as well.
Awesome, perfectly timed with a little bloop from Roll20. And Nikki.
I am Nikki, Coyote Witch. I will be playing Mrs. Mabel Goodberry, who is a very good berry and loves everyone except those she doesn't, and those she doesn't, she wants to punch in the face. So we'll see what happens tonight. I don't know, but is she a cleric or barbarian? We don't know yet. We'll find out.
Little friendly mix of both. And Garnet. Hello.
Hey y'all, I am Garnet. I will be playing Amina Nzinga, and we have the same pronouns, which is she, they.
Right, outstanding. Thank you, Garnet.
I can't
And-
believe I forgot my pronouns. She, her, or they, them. Thanks.
She,
That's
her.
okay. Well,
Also forgot.
there's a lot of fake creatures in this game, so maybe they're always stealing pronouns. That's the that's the TikTok meme. May I have your pronouns, please? Oh sure, they're she they. Scampers off.
That's what happened to my attention.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was
that
like, can I have
too.
your attention, please? And I was like, yeah, and then it was gone forever.
Runs back through the Fey Gate. Well, welcome back everybody officially, and we're happy to have y'all. Who would like to do a recap for of last session's shenanigans? That was at the very, very beginning of January. We'd like to take that stuff away.
There was a whole lot.
There was a lot that happened, yes, for
I was
sure.
actually going through my notes earlier so I could try and break it down. We spent 2 hours in the Beached Leviathan, a rockin' and a rollin'. Mina became part of the band, flirted with some guys who we then attached ourselves to, because that's what you do in clubs, right? I don't know. It's been a long time. And then we followed them. Turns out that they Tommen?
Tom and Ron, yes, the singer of the Quicksilver Troupe.
Told them that they needed to go pick something up for them by a guy named Karak down at the docks. So we, offered to help, and they were like, no. And we're like, no, we will. And so we followed them at a safe distance, keep an eye on them. Made it to... Hard to read my own notes. Made it to the warehouse. There was a weird raven that was following us that had 3 eyes. We kind of all looked at it and went, it's fine. And then kept going.
In fairness, we had other things to worry about.
We were. It was also kind of dark. We couldn't see very much because we were trying to hide in the shadows. Anyway, we get to the warehouse. Willow made Amina a baby bouncy thing to try and look through a window at the top of the warehouse, and it was really fun because then she was just bouncing up and down on it, and not very stealthily because she got seen right away.
Oh yes,
all of us rolled garbage stealth that session,
which was my favorite part of the whole session.
Except for Mabel.
Once, except for Mabel, once.
Disappeared under a cart. It was great.
Mabel, our giant bugbear, rolled a natural 20 thanks to somebody in the chat and managed to squeeze herself underneath a cart somehow and hide.
It's not my fault I have that Iron Man Mark I armor.
What?
Stomping around like a fucking transformer.
Well, it is written in the bugbear description that they are exceptionally stealthy for their size and stature.
They are.
So pulling that right out of the book with that.
We have bare feet.
That sort of freeze frame pose. Oh, you do. That's adorable.
Then we split up because that's what parties do. Amina and Willow. I mean, we've all split up. Key is back at the Beached Leviathan, and Harmony is off trying to make sure that we have enough time and they don't come after us. Something. Anyway, Amina and Willow go around the corner and they're trying to get into this building while Mabel continues to track the 2 boys who are in some kind of courtyard. They get into it because it was locked, and there's this green lizard thing that's growling a whole bunch. And she manages to see that there was a dwarf. The woman that saw Amina through the upstairs window, and then like 2 guards or something dressed in black, and they get into a little skiff and they go off, but don't know what happened to them. They just left. And then the 2 boys.
Don't forget Sexy Daddy.
Oh God. Yeah. So 2 boys go inside, and Mabel decides she needs to get through the gate, and suddenly this Sexy Daddy shows up out of nowhere. The silver fox dude that Mabel's like, oh, what? Where did you come from? And also, you are the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And he touches the lock on the gate, and it disappears and then he disappears, and Mabel absolutely 100% thinks that she made him up because of stress. She thinks she's going crazy.
Above game, do we know that it was Key's dad?
Above game, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
above game, Mabel has no idea. She just conjured this really beautiful man out of thin air.
Everybody has the hots for Key's dad in this campaign.
We'll have to think about
You
that
know,
later.
He is ridiculously hot.
it's what we have to live with. You know, we all have to
Yeah.
live with our own things, and this is what Key has to live with.
a hot dad.
Yeah, it's like, have you seen the show Lucifer? That's kind of like, that was the
Yes.
inspiration
This is
for
Zaddy.
Key's dad. Yeah.
Lucifer's
Tom
such a good
Ellis is
show.
not a silver fox. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
He's
But
just
that's sort of handsome, kind of in a suit with, you know, that very
Lucifer.
confident,
Yeah.
very confident aura. Totally.
He was daddy. He was just that's what he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daddy. And then let's see, what happened next? Oh, Willow and Amina got inside the building and discovered this is where all the printing presses were that we were trying to find. Only somebody had come in and cleaned everything. So there was no evidence of the pamphlets or anything. Did I get that right? Like there was nothing. It was
Right,
just
so-
these clean printing presses.
Yep, there were clean printing presses that had been completely scoured, possibly brand new, and there were some much older printing presses that were in storage down in the basement. Those were either damaged or older, but those were also cleaned as well.
Yeah.
There was if they were dirty, it was just from unidentifiable ink splotches, which was fairly common. There was a lot of, obviously, puddles and pools of ink down there on the basement floor. But beyond that, there wasn't really too much that could identify anything, really.
Yeah. So you guys were wandering around inside. Well, Mabel was... No, you guys went downstairs. Y'all went downstairs to go investigate. Mabel was outside, had been following the kids who went inside. The two boys went inside. And instead of following them like she was supposed to, she got completely distracted by this adorable guard drake who very quickly became Mabel's new best friend.
Yeah.
Rolled a nat 20 on animal handling, and we now have a new guard drake dog named Gerald. Gerald is the best, and in my notes I wrote, "We love Gerald," so that's canon.
Gerald is the best. Yes, we stand good animal handling check calls.
Yes, he's a good boy. Mabel here. They got the keys. Give them the keys. So we think that the kids have keys that Carrick, who I think was the dwarf, gave them. Something. It said give them the keys. I don't know what my notes mean sometimes. Silver Fox, friends with Gerald. You guys were investigating the basement when all of a sudden you hear above you crunching glass and the thud of arrows. And they run upstairs, and both kids are now bleeding and dying on the ground. There was a masked figure who ran outside, and Willow ran out there to try and stop them with magic missile stuff, and Amina was trying to save, which one was the one? Steven. And you're trying to heal Steven, and Steven came back, and it was great and all good, and then Steven died again because of poison. And then Mabel managed to save Eric, and Eric stabilized, and Amina joined Willow outside, and they took chase down the road, going after this guy who was hopping, or this masked figure who was hopping on the rooftops. And then Mabel came to her senses and was like, "What's going on?" And went inside, discovered the boys. She saved Eric, and as she went outside to go see where Amina and Willow went, she saw 3 figures coming down the roads toward her, and one of them was Darius, which always bodes good news.
Oh, for
So
sure.
Mabel was quickly backing up to get back into the gate, and Darius was all like, "That's okay, we'll take over from here." And Mabel's like, "Over my dead body." And that's where we ended. Oh, Mabel was holding onto Gerald's collar so that he wouldn't attack.
Yes. And one of my favorite moments when Garnet was face to face with Amina was face to face with the person on the other side of the window, and they had this sort of awkward stare at each other for an uncomfortably long time. And then that woman just kept going about her business after a raven flew down, that same raven, and started tapping on the glass. The
Yes.
three-eyed raven came down, tapped on the glass. The woman kind of mysteriously brushed it off, gathered her things, walked out of the building, locked up without paying a second notice to Amina, and got on the small cargo barge with Karak and the other two individuals, hired muscle type of thing, and just sort of headed out to the river.
Also, while we were giving chase, realizing that this assailant was way faster than us, having previously attacked him with a cloud of daggers,
Right. That was
Amina sent an unseen servant to just collect his blood. So now we've got a vial of this
Right.
assailant's blood. Don't know what we're gonna do with it
Ooh.
yet. Still on 10 right now.
Yes.
Drink
yes.
it to gain its power.
Plot
Yes.
hoomst. Yeah, big mood. Plot hoomst. Well, Mabel, go ahead and give yourself DM inspiration if you don't already have it.
I do not.
Okay, so DM inspiration for you. Thank you for the recap. Also currently playing the Guild of Ambiance. I linked them in the Nightblock Commands, one of our official music partners. Speaking of official partners, the third individual, who was also dressed in the black leathers of the Aer'ath Takal, took off to the east to sort to the far side of the warehouse, and is kind of just investigating the docks ward and kind of set off on their own. And also we have partnered with our friend Tora from Tora Draws, who is commissioning full art pieces for every member of the Aer'ath Takal of the Dragon Keepers. So TBD for that, and we will be adding in other members as well. But in this moment, we also are commissioning our very own Rory to do some very important pieces, including Rory's dad and also Jubilee Quickfingers from the Quicksilver Troupe, who is going to be playing a pivotal recurring role. So basically, it's kind of a self-report or a spoiler. Any character that I fully commission art for, you're going to see more than one time.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
Daddy.
Okay, so it is here with the dead body of which one died again?
Steven.
Stephen, with the dead body of Stephen and the mortally wounded body of Kevin?
Eric.
Eric, okay. Thank you. I left my notes on the other side of the room, and I don't want to get up off camera to go get them yet, so thank you for refreshing my memory. Those were one-off NPCs. That was definitely a situation where more plot elements, and in the moment, y'all were like, "Oh, what are your names?" And I was like, Eric and Stephen.
You will always ask
So,
names.
yes. Which I expect
Eric
you to.
was
Please do.
definitely spelled with a K, so it's still
Yeah,
canon.
oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, and Stephen is
wrote-
just Stephen.
Arik.
There's a Y somewhere in Steven's name, I'm sure.
Yes, Steven.
What is my purpose? Your plot elements. Oh, God. So, over the body of Stephen and the wounded visage of Eric that you had healed in that moment, the third member of the Aer'ath Takal securing the scene around the warehouse, Darius and Alessia doing the same inside. Darius standing over the body of, or the mortally wounded visage of Eric. Alessia kind of doing a once-over around the warehouse. as
Mabel immediately ran in there to get Eric.
okay, so Darius and Alessia kind of start to try and push past Mabel and make their way into the warehouse. Mabel immediately follows behind with them.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the whole point. Was that she saw Darius and she was like, "You're not hurting my kid," and she like made a beeline back to the warehouse because she wanted to make sure that Eric stayed okay.
Okay. They both kind of make their way in. This is about to get very interesting. So Willow and Amina, y'all are still on the other side of the city, kind of one of you I think is still on a roof. Which one?
Well,
Is someone still on a roof?
I did not make it onto the roof.
That's right, the lattice was
the
like
ladder. Yeah.
we're not
That's
really on
right.
the other side of the city. We chased him for like 3 rounds,
True.
but
I added a lot more
Um,
buildings. So
And you guys were headed.
Yeah.
You two were headed back. When we ended.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far you made it back.
Stephen
I
Art
imagine it'll
when
take us a couple minutes to get back because we're not going to be sprinting at full tilt again.
yeah, that's true. So we'll say 2 to 5 minutes or so after kind of collecting your bearings, and depending on how fast you want to make it back to the warehouse, things have definitely quieted down. It's one of those situations where the chaos has happened, and you can hear sort of like the barking of dogs in the distance that have been alerted to the violence that has happened, and people are starting to light torches and candles in their homes. Lanterns are being lit slowly. It was kind of an isolated incident with a few people, but the noises that were being made, one of those situations where exactly that ambiance with the oi oi, and then a couple of lanterns kind of being, but the Aer'ath Takal has kind of secured the scene, and you can hear kind of distant clamor. It's likely that the Order of the Blazing Shield, the constabulary, will show up about, the same amount of time, another 5 minutes or so. So Amina and Willow, y'all are heading back to the warehouse?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. As you kind of follow in, Darius kind of looms over this this individual, this young kid, 19 or so, and Alessia, after doing a once-over, immediately kind of starts to walk in a circle around behind Eric. And you can see Eric looks terrified and is just kind of crawling backwards on his hands and just kind of stammering and looking back and forth between the two of you, kind of looking over his shoulder. And Darius says, "Be calm. The danger has passed. And relax." Kind of kneels down, kind of crouches down
Nope.
at his level.
Nope. Mabel's right there. Like she's.
Yeah.
She.
Darius looks directly into your eyes, Mabel, and says, "Alessia, would you please help our dear patriot friend up to their feet? Make sure to secure the back of his head so as to avoid any trauma." And is looking right at Mabel when he says this.
I can take him. I'm strong, and I go to pick Eric up.
Okay. So right now, the current positioning is Alessia is positioned directly behind Eric and is putting both hands on to support the back of his head.
I'm ignoring her to pick him up.
Roll initiative.
Dice are important.
You've got this.
I believe in you.
I'm not a bard, but if I could give you inspiration.
Well, I have.
She has DM inspiration.
Oh, true.
Oh, does
This
my-
is where she
am
uses it.
Am I rolling? Oh, initiative.
Initiative.
Initiative. Am I have advantage? Oh, I'm not that high yet. I don't have both. Okay. I rolled a 10.
Okay. Well, let's see.
Small baby barbarian.
Oh, if Roll20 would like to work, that would be delightful. There we go.
Also, someone redeemed a tarot card.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Hi, babe. Oh, very interesting.
Interesting how.
Hmm.
Hmm. I don't know if I like that look on your face.
Having been alerted to the presence early of what was happening, and with due speed coming from the central garrison, I'm going to give Harmony a boost with the Two of Dragons.
Woo!
And Harmony, you arrive with about 6 officers of the Blazing Shield at your back at the same time. And you see all this happening. You walk in right around the same time. Noki is on their way from the tavern with whoever you would want to bring with you. I'm assuming you would kind of get anxious and want to come check it out, just so we can get everyone together.
Grab
Yeah,
my VO.
yeah.
I left it at the bar. It was
So-
still plugged into the amp.
Oh.
This is going to get very interesting.
So, has Harmony been briefed on what's been happening here, or is Harmony just coming in because she heard about the commotion?
Darius sent you a message to meet him and Alessia at the warehouse by the docks immediately and bring officers.
Oh boy. Okay.
And you were stationed at you've been at the Lawmaster's Hall, but
Yeah.
it's easy enough for this was about you can cut through Isindra's shield. So this was about 15 minutes prior that you were alerted. So the timing is, to everyone else above game, is a little sus. But
Yeah.
Harmony doesn't know that.
No.
And in fact, it's likely that he would have asked you to, about an hour earlier, to position yourself to pick up to drop off a package of supplies for officers at Isindra's Shield, which is the central castled portion of Bastion's hold. So you would be within 15 minutes.
Huh.
And told you to make a patrol by the docks. You might be expecting some trouble.
That's so sus. Yeah.
That's right around this time that you show up.
Harmony would be on her way. So Harmony sees the scene of Mabel looking incredibly tense, I'm guessing, with a unfortunately deceased child.
One deceased, one alive, yes.
Yeah, the one-
One's
the one-
18, one's 19.
Darius. Mabel?
I'm gonna pause there for a second, just so I can. So you're here with 6 of the constables at your back, and we'll use the soldiers for now, because this is a military city. So, in a lot of cases, considering that you're at Isindra's Shield, a lot of the military soldiers double as operatives for the Blazing Shield or constables of the Blazing Shield. So
That makes sense.
we'll just put a couple. You have
It's never
6
good
of them. You have 6 of them with you. And let me bring up the initiative tracker. So that was the first tarot card, and that's going to get Harmony here quicker, which might change things. Also, I don't know why the turn order is not showing up. There we go. And Mabel, what did you roll?
10.
10, that's right, okay. And the most important person here is Alessia. Good time for a tarot card. Thank you, Ali Bay.
It's always a good time for a tarot card.
Yes.
Hell yeah. I move like Sonic.
I was gonna have Harmony show up after the fact, but a tarot card will certainly get you here a lot quicker. Harmony has some very specific draconic heritage, so sometimes the dragon card can also be used to represent things that might be a boon for Harmony. And Alessia, I'm gonna have to refresh Roll20 after we go through this situation. Oh, good.
Oh, that's great.
Oh boy.
You're doing great.
It's fine. We'll be there in a few minutes. Just stay alive till then.
Make no promises.
You better.
Yeah, you're not allowed to die. Like, that is, like, illegal.
I'm out of spell slots, babes.
I'm
You
not.
go down, you're down.
The next character is an owl bear, so we'll keep
Just an owlbear in like a really long coat pretending to be a person.
Sable, not so good berry.
Um.
No, not the not so good
Sable
berry.
Badberry.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
natural
boy.
18.
What an incredible noise to hear your DM make.
Uh-oh.
No.
Mm.
This is going so well already.
Quicksilver
All I wanted to
Troupe.
do was pick up a scared kid, and now I'm in a fight.
What if I
Wanted to
never-
hug- Just wanted to hug
No!
a child.
You don't know that in game.
I'm not even there in game. But I know it.
Wisdom. Oh no, there is no wisdom modifier on the Quicksilver crew. They have a 0. But it's so close. And ooh, what does Darius do? Darius is gonna just kind of step in front of Mabel, and just deja vu. And at the same time, Harmony, you will roll initiative on the next turn if you need to, but you walk in and you kind of see once again Darius kind of squaring off with Mabel. But in that moment, as it goes to Alessia, you smell the like something burning, Mabel, and you can see Aer'ath kind of, his eyes kind of flutter on the back of his head, and you can kind of just see this sort of flash of sort of pale light from Alessia's hands, and she just kind of whispers something to Aer'ath, and then Aer'ath just, and a little trickle of blood comes down from his nose.
God, am I holding this child still while he dies again?
It was okay, so
I managed to pick him up with Alessia still holding his head.
well, okay, so you're all kind of at the same, in the, like, you're both hands on with him right
Okay.
now, I think, because you were there with him, and you were about to sort of get up, and okay,
Yeah.
so you're still kind of hands on, but that's it, just a little flash of sort of pale, sort of smoky light, and then for a second you're like, what in the fuck? But then he just kind of, within the period of 6 seconds that we have when you're about to when you're trying to figure out what you're gonna do between, thank you for the follow, what you're gonna do between going after whoever, but my apologies for a bit of a retcon. I thought that you had stood up for a second, so if you're still holding Aer'ath, then
Well, I had tried to stand up with him. Like I told Darius, I'm stronger. I'll
oh,
take
okay. I gotcha. Okay, so Darius had kind of moved close, kind of to get within proximal distance of you and Alessia, so you're kind of like in the middle.
Mhm.
Darius is a little bit closer to the right side of the warehouse, where there would be the entrance, the entryway,
Mhm.
and Alessia is sort of holding the back of his head, and Alessia's saying to you the whole time, she's like, no, it's okay, I know what I'm doing, I'm a professional, and is helping, and is holding cervical spine, right, both hands on the side of his ears, and is sort of holding him up. You don't hear a crack or anything, and she just kind of lifts him up. Just that little sort of, that strange smell of something burning, the eyes fluttering, a little single trickle of blood, and that sort of flash of light, and he just, as you're kind of picking him up and trying to kind of maneuver awkwardly, the three, and now Harmony, you see the three of them together. And right at this moment, at sort of at the end of 6 seconds, Eric just looks around and just... What happened? Why does everything hurt? Oh,
Hun, you just got hit super hard.
I did?
Yes.
That's right,
Something happened. We'll talk about it. It'll be okay. I'm just like
no.
giant.
No, there was someone on the roof. Something's not right. Something's not right. And kind of looks and Alicia's like, no, shh, don't try not to move your head. You sustained a head injury. Darius.
Maybe was uncertain whether or not to be like, yeah, no, listen to her.
Well, it's your turn. I just need to know if you are initiating any kind of combat or anything, or any kind of type of maneuver to try and do
No,
anything.
I'm just gonna continue. Like, Mabel is more confused now because Alessia was helping. Did Mabel notice like the magic or the glow or anything?
Yes.
Okay, so I did.
Yes.
Okay, and he seems okay.
Yeah, he seems fine.
Okay.
And
She's
go ahead.
She's on the defensive. She's not offensive anymore, but she is definitely holding him and then like trying to hold him closer and comfort him. But I'm not gonna make a move to like do anything. I'm still very much want to be not by Darius. So I'm trying to like not back out a door or anything, but put my back to a wall or one of the crates or something, so that I can like set him down onto something and like give him a once over, like look to see if there's anything else I can do, while also being like to Darius.
Another tarot card was redeemed.
Scene. Thank you, Varoth. I have pulled one and put it in the queue. We're gonna come back to that in a quick second. So you are sort of putting him back into your own arms. Yeah, are you like picking him up like princess carry type of situation, or
I was like princess carrying him up gently, and so I could put him on like a crate or something to, look, follow my finger, like try and do like
right. Well, there's certainly some table stuff, and Darius and Alessia are like, let us help you, kind of clear off some room. And Harmony, you're seeing all this happen. Harmony, what are you doing as this is happening? It's kind of a weird situation. It was standoffish, and then it was confrontational. Now it's friendly, and there seems to be
I wouldn't say friendly. There are no punches being thrown right now, so
yeah. So can well, obviously there's a deceased child and a slightly injured child. Some kind of conflict or fight has obviously happened in this warehouse. So Harmony's just gonna make kind of a hand gesture for the guards to kind of surround the perimeter of the warehouse, and we'll just give them the order to like make sure you search this place. Thank you.
Yes, Mom. And they immediately 3 and 3 and disperse around the exterior. And you can see another member of the Aer'ath Takal kind of patrolling down by the docks area where barges launch into the rivers.
Would Harmony recognize them?
Yes, right away, 100%. So the third member that is here, let me scroll up a little bit. Kariga Night Blossom. So it is a the person that you see is Kariga Night Blossom. Kariga Night Blossom is it's kind of a big deal, Harmony. I need to like stop for a second. Full stop. The third member of the Aer'ath Takal that is here. Kariga Nightblossom. They are not just any ordinary member of the Aer'ath Takal, like most members of the Aer'ath Takal. It's a big deal when any of them show up.
Mhm.
Kariga Nightblossom operates out of the entirety, could be anywhere at any time. Kariga Nightblossom is the keeper of military intelligence, realm secrets, and mystic arcana.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Why on earth is she here?
Kariga, just to be sure, pronouns they, them, and also neopronouns. They, them, Zizar, and them for Kariga.
Okay. So they're just patrolling at the moment?
Yep,
Or-
they're kind of taking a secondary to Darius and Alessia,
Okay.
patrolling the riverway.
Okay. And are they looking in any particular direction, or are they just keeping an eye out?
Make an insight check.
Oh boy.
We believe in you.
They must be really attractive because they got a natural one.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah.
no.
No body language for me.
That's the wrong kind of body language.
Yeah.
Never underestimate the importance of body language. All right, yeah,
Excuse
no,
me,
no idea.
Your body language seems to be speaking in Celestial. Can you fix that, please?
So, Harmony, you have a moment where you're like, it's sort of like what we used to say, like it's definitely a moment where you're kind of like your heart sinks and your breath is almost taken away for a moment. It's very rarely that Kariga operates in the open, and when they show up, it's like a big deal. Like, this is not something to just, brush away, but only you know how important it is for them to really be here. It definitely has unique significance to you. Also, as this is happening and Rory's getting close, the other card, conveniently enough, that was just pulled from Veroth is the Warlock. And I'm going to go ahead and thing. Harmony, you're a Hexblade, right?
Yes.
Might have you to.
Sorry, could you repeat their name again?
Kariga, Carrieaga. Sorry, GA. Night Blossom. Carriega. All right, so can I have Harmony, our Hexblade, and Key both roll a d20? One here.
7.
Yeah, that's a 12.
7 and 12?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Ali Bay, and thank you, Veroth, for the first 2 tarot cards. For the Warlock
So
card,
that's how this session is going.
yeah, it's mostly just sort of focused on the players for now, which is interesting. But
No, I meant nobody's rolling very well.
oh yes,
Also
that
that,
too,
also that.
that too. So Amina and Willow, you're kind of making your way back, and you can see. Key, did you bring anyone with you, or did you kind of take off on your own from the Beached Leviathan?
There's at least a big Venbo with me right now.
Excellent. I don't know why you were at 200%. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay. So, with my second favorite member of the Quicksilver Troupe. I am a sucker for Jubilee. Silver Troupe. We have Yara.
Giant woman.
Yes.
Giant woman.
Little
So
evening
wait,
You
stroll.
said Vembo.
Yes.
Never mind.
Giant Dumbo.
Sort of, it's like you have protection too when you're walking with Yara. Kind of a muscled Thembo. Street tough muscled Thembo. Things aren't right. Things are off, and you're kind of making your way there. And also, I'm going to say roll a d4 for me, Key, please. Because the Warlock Tarot
That's a
card has a
3.
secondary roll table. A 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that face. Dio.
Uh-oh.
Um,
I'm in danger.
TPK, everybody, let's do it.
Yeah.
as
We
you're
had a great
walking,
run.
as the two of you are walking, you hear a third set of footsteps behind you. Your pace seems to quicken. Almost unnaturally. Willow and Amina, you do a double take. You look over, you see Key. You look back towards the warehouse, and when you turn your head again, from the other side of the farthest building there that you can see on the map, Key is just sort of seems to have kind of whooshed in and arrived, and you can see Fiera behind Key, kind of like looking a little confused, and then just kind of doing a double take. Not really sure what happened, kind of running to catch up. And in that moment, you were walking normally, Key, but you heard a third set of footsteps walking with you, and that familiar voice that kind of leaned in and says, "I don't like anything about this, and I don't trust any of them. The next time you use your special magic that was gifted to you by me, you might find it has a little bit of an extra kick. Have fun." So the next time you cast an Eldritch Blast, you'll cast it at 11th level.
Oh.
As if you were an 11th level Warlock.
Damn.
Oh, all right.
So, which I believe is 4 blasts, I think?
3.
What a
3 at
great
11th
grad.
level? Okay, yeah.
At 5th level, you get a second, and at 11th level, you get a third.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's the last thing he says is, "I told you, I don't like any of these people. They're all rotten to the core. Every last one." And then you kind of look up, and you're right in front of Willow and Amina. And you yourself, Key, have to do a little kind of step back. And also thank you again, Veroth and Ali Bay, for pulling the first 2 cards and getting both of our players quicker to the scene. I'm sure they
Yeah.
appreciate it too. So thank you both very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, Key, and you can see Fiera like, "What the fuck?" And just kind of, "Wait, no, I've seen that before," and just kind of runs up and just, "Did you just misty step away from me?"
Not purposely.
Okay. It's funny. I'll give it to you. It was funny. I haven't run in a while. I definitely needed a little bit of a sprint. And looks over at Willow and Amina as you are a little bit closer. Alright, did y'all officially meet Fiera before? I can't remember. Amina and Willow, did you formally meet Fiera?
Willow
the
didn't
Quicksilver
meet
Troupe?
anybody. She wallflowered at the party.
Wallflower, that's right. Amina, did you meet Fiera?
No, when they showed up, I was on stage.
Okay, gotcha. Key, I'm just going to
Mabel
move your
is
token a
busy.
little bit closer. Go ahead.
Mabel was
Nikki.
too busy talking to the hot giant woman
Yes.
at the bar.
Your soldiers are also dispersing, Harmony, searching around the perimeter. Do you keep anyone by your side as you enter the warehouse, by the way? Or do you just send 3 and 3?
She sends 3 and 3, and then will enter herself.
Perfect. Okay. All right. And Mabel, what are you doing as this is happening? You can see Harmony kind of walk in. You and Darius and Alessia have Eric on the table. And Eric has a moment as this is happening where looks up at Mabel and smiles, and then looks at Darius and kind of does a double take, and you can see him kind of struggling, and then something just clicks. And he says, "You're Darius Essex. You're the most powerful spellcaster under the crown. and just kind of puts an arm up on Darius and grabs Darius's shoulder and kind of leans in and says, I don't want to die. Did I do my duty to the crown? And Darius says, yes. Yes, you have done your duty. Dutifully. Willingly. And you have served the crown. Looks up and says, the boy might be a bit feverish. We should.
It would have been a sweet moment if it weren't Darius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should take this boy to the hospital, to the
Oh,
infirmary,
Mabel.
to make sure he gets the proper care and treatment that he needs.
Mabel
May-
was really confused.
Okay.
May I ask what happened here?
Darius and Alessia both look at Mabel, and Darius says, well, we had word that our irregulars were traveling to the docks and some sort of something that was possibly cause for concern. Now, when our agents and operatives begin to move, of course, I have eyes and ears all over the city. When our operatives begin to move, I figured it would behoove us to get everyone together, especially the commander of this unit, Harmony, which is why I summoned you after my own eyes had alerted me that the three of them were on the move, tailing these two individuals who had some kind of business. I believe I recognized the two of them as individuals who had signed up as City Watch informants with the Order of the Blazing Shield. Wanting to do
Right.
their duty, of course, for the good people of Bastion's Hold. There were some issues with vetting their past, some involvement with some more nefarious elements of the nefarious elements of the people here in Bastions. Some underground music rings with maybe some associations with criminal activity. So we were in the process of vetting them, and it seems as if they've gotten them involved in this unfortunate business with propaganda, perhaps seeming to be in over their heads. Perhaps wanting to
Right.
solve the mystery on their own. Your friends, of course, keen on this, caught wind of it. Well done, by the way, Mabel, on catching scent of whatever was happening. And you may have saved this young lad's life. Whatever he was onto seems to be something bigger. Now, Mabel, would you please relay everything that happened start to finish so Alessia and I can sort of decompress what has happened here and try to piece things together. And of course, there is this unfortunate loss of life here. Harmony, could you call in 4 of the 6 of the men here? Please, we have a body to take care of and bring down to the coroner. And also, we'll need a cot and a stretcher. If you can have the other 2 dispersed to the infirmary up at Isindra's Shield, and we can take care of this and secure the scene. So 4 and 2. 4 to escort the body, and 2 more to fetch another squadron, as well as some medics, if you wouldn't mind.
Understood. And Harmony will round up her little gang.
Yep, yeah, there was one sort of standing right outside, the 6th one, who was kind of bouncing back and forth between the 2 groups you had sent and just stands at attention. Yes, Mom.
I need 4 of you to go bring this body to Isindra's Shield. And wait, was that right?
Yes,
4
yep.
to send the body to Isindra's Shield, and then 2 to go and I've forgotten.
Fetch the medics at the infirmary post at Isindra's Shield, which is sort of right up the hill, basically.
Okay.
Yep.
And to
Wait.
fetch them. Yes. No. Go ahead.
Just before you take the body.
Oh, sure.
Wait. And I go over to the body,
Mhm.
and I'm going to pause over it and start whispering stuff with my pendant and put my hands on his body like I'm praying. Oh, Mabel's not a pickpocket, but I want to try and see if there's anything in his pocket while she's running her hands over him like she's praying.
Sure. Make a sleight of hand check for me, if you don't mind.
On that note,
Very quick.
actually, are Amina and Willow and Key there now?
Let's pause there, then, in that case, and go back to Amina, Willow, and Key. Amina, Willow, and Key, you're all kind of together, and you're kind of right outside the warehouse. I'm going to put it back to y'all. Y'all would have had a couple of minutes sort of simultaneously as this was happening to catch up and talk. So I'm going to put it back to the three of y'all to go ahead and that sort of Amina and Willow kind of gathering their composure. You finish collecting the blood. Key runs over with Fiera, and now you're all sort of together, and you have a chance to kind of interact and figure out what the heck is going on in this chaos. It is chaotic.
As they're walking over, or jogging, I assume. Anyway, Willow's sort of adjusting the gloves and not really making eye contact, but she starts sort of filling Key in on what happened while Key was away. I should have known what happens. Sorry. Head empty, no thoughts. Why am I playing an intelligence character? We got here and there was Mabel went to spy on the other side of the building, and we were trying to get a look in the upper window. We were spotted, but person didn't raise any kind of an alarm or anything. Did we get that boy killed? Both of them?
I worry that this would have happened regardless. But at least someone was here with them when it happened, so they weren't alone.
Maybe. I just can't shake the feeling that we should have prevented it somehow. Oh.
I know. Me too.
Hopefully you
And
you
then
gotta-
she's gonna hold up the little vial. We're gonna get him. And then she pockets it.
We need to get back. If we can, we might be able to find some clues at the warehouse too. Maybe the weapon was unique in some way or something. Oh. Fuck. She just kind of like keeps shaking her head, trying to clear thoughts. She's just clearly not sure what to say. She just keeps looking between Key and Amina for any kind of like input or prompting from them.
We should get back to Mabel. I think we've left her alone long enough.
Just don't dwell too heavily on these thoughts of what ifs. They're not kind, those words to ourselves. But let's go.
I wish it were as easy as just not thinking about it.
I understand.
You're right. We have a job to do.
Yeah, then I guess we head into the warehouse area.
As we were going back, could I keep an eye for any like debris, anything that might have fallen as the assassin was running across rooftops?
Yes, make a perception check. Was there one other pending check from anyone?
Mabel made a sleight of hand to see if there was anything on the boy's body.
Yeah,
Okay.
Steven.
And what did you get for a sleight of hand?
Oh, I didn't roll yet.
Okay, go ahead and roll sleight of hand just so I can sort of resolve that quickly and then come back to...
I rolled a 17 plus 1.
Okay,
17.
so you do a full pat down, and there is nothing out of the ordinary. You find coins, a dagger, some sort of a handkerchief, just kind of a quick, no folded parchment or a secret, maybe a couple of secret pockets that don't have maybe sort of a religious charm, sort of a necklace of the Fury, sort of the flaming sword, a couple of maybe like a lucky coin with some faux gems in it. But beyond that, nothing suspicious catches your eye.
I don't take any of it.
Okay, but you're able to just kind of, very quickly do a once over.
I finish my prayer and then I stand up and look at Harmony and just nod and then turn and go back to Eric.
Perception check from Willow.
It was a 17.
17. Okay, with that, make an insight check. That 17 is going to get you an insight check. Where you say, hold on a second, as you're looking around.
Well, it was a natural 2.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you're...
Total 4.
You have a second where you stop and you ponder it. You're like, huh, it's strange. But then you realize that you should probably get back to the others. Something doesn't feel right, and your gut instinct with your low roll is that you should get back to the others. But what doesn't feel right is that you haven't found anything. It was over and done with, and this individual has vanished without a trace, which gives you pause, but then you have a bit of an intrusive thought, like, we really need to get back from the low roll.
Yeah, that tracks. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we get back as quick as we can, and I don't know what else to say there. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. And Amina has the vial of blood, right? Okay, so you sort of secure that away on your person?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, excellent. Amina and Key, would either of you like to do anything else here, sort of at the scene of where you were pursuing the assailant? And Key, as you kind of arrive, your father giving you a little pep talk with your Thembo friend. Do either of you want to do anything out here before you circle back to the warehouse?
No.
No, once we get back to the warehouse, I know Amina wants to gather up some more of that broken glass, just in case it's needed again. Wasn't really thinking about spell components, was just like, this is gonna be a fun little thing that we do, and now realizing should probably have some of that on her at all times.
Right.
And then she's going to collect her instrument from Key, who had more sense than she did.
All right.
To bring it with instead of leaving it on a
Absolutely.
stage with a full metal band.
Like heavy metal or ton of
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
hell
we're
yeah.
talking full mosh pit,
Oh.
heavy metal.
God,
I'm still wearing the spiky collar.
Mabel took damage several times in the mosh pit.
Oh my god.
She caught hands.
Yeah.
It was an unfortunate
Twice.
experience.
Twice it happened.
That's such a
She was-
memorable experience, though.
She was the only one that took damage
Oh, Mabel, no.
There was a
We will
reason it was
solve
called
it.
Hardcore Bardcore, was the name of the episode. Hardcore
Oh my
Bardcore.
god.
Woo, Roll20 is struggling tonight on a Saturday night. Not surprising, but I just got one of those. Yeah, our bitrate is doing okay, so I think it's more Roll20 thing. So Fiera approaching from outside. We have ignore the extra tokens while I sort it out. We have an extra Mabel. We have Harmony in position here. And also, yeah, there is a kind of docile guard drake outside that seems to kind of be eyeing everyone as they walk in and out, Harmony. Just kind of intently watching you.
I told him to sit and stay.
Yes.
He's a
Oh.
good boy.
Let's get
He's a good
an
boy.
actual number of guards here. And I'm going to give your corporal here, or your sergeant here, a little fist icon. 4, 5, and 6. Then we have Willow and Amina. He outside. I'm gonna put you over here with Fiera. Who's taking the lead on returning? Willow? Amina?
Oh, he got magically boosted, so he
That was-
probably.
That was over where y'all were before, where the lattice was in the other building.
I know, but I can't imagine we were fighting for the lead.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah. Key probably, yeah. I
Okay.
wouldn't imagine that I.
Also, I don't think I can see Harmony. She might be outside though.
I would like it to be known that that vial of blood that I took is not in a pocket. Amina did in fact shove it in her cleavage.
Nice.
That's the best place for it.
Honestly.
If somebody's gonna try to take it, they're like, I'm gonna know because they're copping a feel. So
Gonna
It
swing
keeps
up
it nice and warm too. I
Yeah.
can't
Also
imagine
that.
that's useful, but it's true.
Does
Huh.
Harmony have night vision?
Let me check.
Or dark
I
vision?
think
should
she
say.
do because she a half elf and Willow is also a half elf.
Can everybody see the map?
Yes. Up
Yes.
to 60 feet.
Okay. All right. T, can you see the map?
Yes.
Let's. I'm having a brain fart now as to how to enable vision.
I can see things now.
Oh, you can. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see
All right,
things.
so everyone's good. All right. So this is Darius over here, and Alessia over here.
I appreciated how small they were for a second compared
Yeah.
to
Tiny Darius.
Yeah, and we'll put Eric here at 1 HP. Okay, so stabilize thanks to Mabel.
He's fine. He has a whole hit
Alessia.
point. That's more than enough.
That's more than enough.
He'll be okay. I swear.
Sometimes we just have to be happy with 1 hit point.
1 hit point is enough to take a long rest, which means he's fine.
That's true. That's true.
So Kariga is over there by the docks, just kind of looking out by the river, kind of looking back and forth. Not really sure what they're looking at out there,
Mm.
but they're kind of just maintaining position down over by the docks, letting Darius and Alessia take the lead here.
Right.
Your 4 of your soldiers kind of come rushing in to take the body. And right around this time, he, Willow, and Amina, y'all arrive at the gates of the warehouse once more. I think I can turn the roll 20 back on. There we go. Okay, cool.
As we're coming around the corner and stuff, do we see them coming out with the body?
You can see them kind of, Key, you kind of see the last of the 4 kind of, there's also a couple of soldiers outside, and not recognizing Key specifically, just stops and says, "Hold up! Hold there! There's been an incident! No one's allowed in or out of the warehouse!"
Yeah, we know. We're with Harmony Knives.
And then, "Sergeant Nice!"
Yes. And Harmony will come out.
"We got visitors. Say they know you. Say they're here with you. Is that true? Am I gonna have to send some people packing?"
Can Harmony see that it's Willow and friends?
Yes. Oh, here we
Sounds
go.
like-
Here's lighting. Okay. What's your night vision, by the way?
60 feet.
Okay.
Let them through. They're with me.
Yes, Mom. And they're just gonna take a step back. All right, then. Go on in.
All right. As we go in, sorry, I had to let go of the Alt key to move my token, and then because that's my push to talk. Anyway, as we're coming in, we see them leaving with the body. Yeah.
They're kind of right around this time. You can kind of like from where you are, bit of a commotion happening, and after a few moments, yes, right around this time, you see the 4 individuals leaving with a body. They don't have any cots or medics here, but they're going. The 2 other soldiers there sort of gather up, and they report in and say, "Miss Knights, we're going to go and fetch the medics up by the tent, so gonna get on that." And they just kind of salute.
All right.
As the ones with the body are passing, the ones with the kid who died, Mabel tries to stop them. Hold on just a second. I need to make sure there aren't any clues left on the body that are important.
They kind of stop.
The main thing
And-
I'm looking for, DM, is like an arrow or a crossbow bolt or something. Something of the weapon used to kill the kid.
Okay.
I did leave that in his chest. I did not take that out when I tried to heal him.
Okay.
Willow's thinking that there could be something unique about it that would help. Or hoping, at least.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
I didn't realize it was the music bot that left, and I got real worried for a second because I
The
thought,
DM leaves the
Essie
chat.
had left. Yeah,
That's
I
like a
thought
pun.
she had, and I was like, "What?"
As you say this is good. I'm glad this came up. They all kind of stop to look at Harmony simultaneously, right? But then Harmony, right as you're kind of composing yourself to speak, you hear the voice that has not spoken yet. Soft. Deliberate. That won't be necessary.
Harmony
I'm
will
sorry.
turn to look at our dragon, Night Blossom.
Would Willow recognize our dragon Night Blossom? You said they don't really exist in public very much.
Make a history
Would-
check. As yeah, that would require a check as someone who's not a member of the military specifically. The military industrial complex.
Total 11.
No idea.
Who are you?
They just yeah, exactly.
You're like that kid that's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
who are you?
They do you chuckle in character too?
Kind
Me?
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry.
Harmony, yeah.
of.
They just kind of grin and smile. And they look right at Harmony and say, "Oh, Miss Knives, I guess I've been doing my job correctly."
Willow looks around for a second, absorbs that Darius and Alessia are here, puts two and two together that this is someone very important, at least, even if she doesn't know who it is, and shuts up.
Above game, and I think so. I like revealing some things as far as appropriate power level. So y'all would have sort of an in-game basis in character, right? So above game, she is essentially an 18th level mastermind. And however that translates to Harmony being like in character.
Don't treat them like Mabel treats Darius.
Harmony will just smile and will say, I don't Harmony's never met our dragon Night Blossom before, has she?
Correct. Yet.
Yeah.
But they know exactly who you are.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Heard a lot about you. In fact, I've heard a lot about all of you.
That's interesting, considering I myself only just got here. I feel very out of sorts.
That is true. You did just arrive. But we are happy to have you here, Miss Amina. And rest assured, your continued assistance to the Crown has gone noticed. We'll make sure we do everything we can to get you the appropriate audiences that you need. The individuals at the Bardic College of the Lux Academy, perhaps even a direct audience with the virtuoso herself. And they look over at Kinela and just, Kinela? And Wilhelmina Patrick. I know a lot of things. It's my business to know a lot of things. My profession and my trade. And this scene is under my authority. We'll be taking the body back to Asunder Shield for proper investigation. And you are to defer to Darius Essex and Alessia von Mott on additional matters of security here. Following them, you defer to Harmony Knives. And then they just look at the 4 soldiers. Carry on. Don't let anyone stop you. Do not stop to answer questions. And they look horrified. And they just, yes! And they just mix. And they just kind of, very sternly and awkwardly sort of salute and kind of one at a time. And then they just say, go. Sorry.
Willow frowns, but keeps her mouth shut.
Mina's having mixed emotions. Part of her is trying not to melt. The other part of her is just like, but I still don't know what to call you.
They just... It's better if you don't perceive me at all.
Oh, I love them.
That's
I
an
miss
entire
playing a
mood.
rogue so freaking
Entire
bad.
mood.
Oh, okay. This is gonna happen now. Then I would have to say something that is incredibly disrespectful now. You'll have to change your face if you want me to not perceive you.
They seem to be amused by that. And they smile, and they say, who says I haven't already done that?
Willow
Do you
walks
get
inside.
to ship? I mean, that was lovely.
Women.
And Willow kind of makes her way inside. Mariga
she
just kind of scanning everyone and kind of making sure that things go smoothly. And
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off there.
that's okay. That's okay.
The boy who survived, does he still have an arrow in him or a crossbow bolt of some nature?
Did you remove it, Mabel?
I don't remember, but I'm assuming that since he's up and moving, and
I think you broke it and took out part of it.
That would make
broke
sense. Yeah.
that part.
Okay, so is that lying on the ground somewhere then?
Probably, I would have just. tossed it.
Yes, that is. And
Okay,
yes, the
Willow
other
will
kid
just-
had arrows sticking out of him.
Willow will just pick that up and wrap it in a cloth for future investigation.
Okay.
And just look around for any other clues, anything that, anything that might have fallen from the skylight when the person was up there and broke glass and stuff.
Okay. All right. Perception check. And as you're doing that, Kariga kind of walks over to
Could it-
Amina.
Could it perhaps be investigation?
Sure.
It's a very like
No.
poor Victorian child voice.
That's a natural 2 again.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Why are we rolling like shit?
Should have gone with the
Total of 8.
perception. No. Yeah.
It would have been worse with perception.
I know. I was just teasing. So yeah, you're able to collect glass and bits and fragments of the bolt, the crossbow bolt. And as this is happening, as you're doing this, Kariga kind of walks over between Amina and Gerald and kind of kneels down and just kind of gives Gerald some scritches, who kind of doesn't quite know what to make of Kariga, kind of keeps sniffing. And then Kariga looks right into Gerald's eyes and just, good boy. And Gerald immediately flops over onto his stomach. And they start giving Gerald a bit of a scaly belly rub.
Okay, I approve. It's fine.
Then they kind of slowly stand up after that, kind of step in between the two over to the gate, like they're about to leave. They stop and turn to Amina. I'm excited for you to see the City of Lights. I'm sure it's nothing compared to the beauty of the four houses of Elantris. Long have I wished to walk amongst the Eladrin there and see the beauty of the Fey courts. Perhaps someday soon I will. They just kind of smile, this very intense, discomforting grin. Good day, Miss Nzinga.
Mina's just gonna nod and try to keep it very respectful, and again, still like swirling emotions. Like, she's really hot, she's really commanding, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to like her, and she's super scary. I gotta go check on Eric.
Yeah. They use they, them, and neo pronouns officially. I think they would have probably said that at some point, but it's part of the "do not perceive me" type of thing. But they just kind of smile wickedly at you, Amina, and just, I'm sure we'll meet again, sir. Good day. And just kind of deliberately walks and takes their hood, puts it up over, and just kind of disappears into the shadows. That face!
My.
No part of me was composed. And there's just like an inner outer monologue of Amina scolding herself before she runs into the warehouse.
For what it's worth, I think you did particularly well.
Thanks. When did you get here?
A few moments ago, to see Mabel kind of standing off against Darius, and then again, yes, and then kind of calmed down, and then all of this.
Darius,
honestly, I'd leave you for 10 minutes.
Darius makes his way out.
This is ours now. This is Gerald. He's ours. We're taking him with us.
Gerald. You found this quite magnificent creature, and you named him Gerald?
He came with the name.
It's on his collar.
Darius walks out, walks right back in.
We didn't name him that. He came with the name. I definitely would have chosen something different.
I feel like he kind of deserves a better name.
I'm sure after we've had some sleep, we can come up with a better name.
Okay.
Gerald, and at this point, I'm sure he'll answer to whatever we call him.
Sure.
But for now, he's Gerald.
Harmony's gonna slowly approach Gerald and just give him some scritches.
Okay. Make an animal handling check at advantage.
That is a unnatural 20.
Okay.
Finally,
right.
some
an
good
unnatural
rolls.
20.
Always on the animal handling.
Yeah.
The one that counts.
Gerald immediately starts kind of just rubbing his head up against your leg, just that very kind of bumping into you type of thing that dogs do sometimes. Like, pet me. Don't pet me, please. Forever.
Stop.
Always. Pet me 24/7. I'll be sad if you don't stop.
I'll be sad if you
Harmony
will be more than happy to give him all the scritches. Going to give you a good name, yes. A strong name, not Gerald.
This damn thing's gonna have 6 different names by the end of the campaign.
He's gonna be the new Percy.
Yeah. And repeat on click there. Okay, excellent. All right, so Harmony and Amina and Gerald. Key, what are you up to?
He also comes up and like to pet.
Okay.
Also, would love to give some love to Gerald.
Okay. All right. Between Willow, between Mabel and Harmony, absolutely giving Gerald all the love in the world. You're very easily able to kind of, if there's like a mean dog or cat and somebody's petting them, you can kind of sneak in and
Yeah,
gonna take
yeah.
advantage of the pets. It's exactly what you do, and they kind of and then they roll over again on their belly for both of you.
Oh,
And then
Gerald.
Fiera's like, I want to pet the lizard. He kind of runs in. Does the same.
Oh,
yeah.
I brought a +1.
Oh,
Hey,
Harmony, Fiera, Harmony.
nice to meet you.
pleasure to meet you.
I love your look. Your whole sort of outfit, the whole theme you have going on, it's flawless.
Okay, Harmony was staring at this individual as in like, what are you doing here? Kind of like squinted eyes, and the moment she received that compliment,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
just
yeah.
like flicks her hair and is like, why thank you. Glad to see someone that appreciates my fashion sense.
Right? I mean, and they kind of like flex, and you can see they have a lot of spikes and leather and sort of like a stylized. It's like a corset top, but it has like this sort of leather harness, sort of part of that comes
Ooh.
down the center of it, and it connects to a belt, almost like a corset and sort of tube top combo type of get up, and the leather jacket over it, and then spiked shoulders. Sort of some really nice sort of silver necklaces, and lots of the black leather jacket, black leather pants, and sort of like those goth sort of platform boots.
Yes. Oh, I
So
love that.
they're about 5'11" with the platform boots, 5'11"-ish. And yeah, it's kind of sort of there's a lot of similarities between the two styles, and you're kind of like, thank you, thank you. And
Okay, I
they seem to be,
appreciate
yeah, yeah. And
So, how did you two meet?
It it was before you and I even met, Harmony.
Right.
It we just happened to catch a show, and I ran into Fiera.
yeah, no, it was, kind of like you see someone and you're just like, I have to talk to this person. I just something about them, and all the while, your friend Gerald, your guard Drake, is like tongue out completely, sort of like just kind of like panting with happiness as the three folks over here are just kind of like scratching, the if you've ever like pet a lizard before, it's like, it's interesting. It's rough, but also like they really enjoy it. So lizard flopped onto his back and just like sort of legs up, paws up, sort of as did a little kick or two. As you're all absolutely giving Gerald all the love and attention that this best boy deserves.
Yeah.
If Mabel dies, I'm happy. This is the best thing she's done.
You're not allowed
I turn the
to
token
die.
upside down. There you go.
Oh.
Essie,
Yes.
the broken skylight, is it two like puncture holes from bolts, or is it, or arrows, whatever, or did they like shatter a whole window and then fire through?
It was shattered by the first, but it was broken by the first bolt and shattered by the second.
Okay, so there's like no. Okay.
There is sort of like there's like some glass on the edges of it, so it kind of shattered imperfectly. So you know how the glass goes into the pane on the sides on the frame. So there's kind of like the exterior frame and some jagged pieces. Maybe an occasional piece that still falls. It's kind of dangerous to stand right underneath it, but an imperfect break. It has sort of like interconnected frames, like sort of T-pattern frames. That type of lattice work on the window.
Right. I ask because I was trying to make sure that there were only 2 shots. So it was sort of trying to see how many holes there were in the glass, that sort of thing. Can I go upstairs and investigate the office that we like looked through the window of?
Yes, good question. So I'll go ahead and are you taking anyone with you?
No, they're distracted by dog dragon thing.
Okay.
She's just trying to focus.
Okay. So the ladder is here. And Mabel, you see Willow kind of take off to the ladder, and Alessia kind of follows. Mabel, what are you doing as this is happening? You're also waiting for 2 medics, you know, to come to help Eric get to the hospital.
Oh, for sure.
I'm gonna bring
well-
it back to Mabel because we haven't been to Mabel for a bit.
You're good. Mabel will definitely cast Cure Wounds on him, so he's feeling a little better.
Okay. All right. So your hands start to glow with that gold energy, and you can see the wounds beginning to close. And as he's kind of struggling, his eyes were he was closing his eyes and really struggling to stay awake. He just, oh, okay. It feels so much better.
12 points.
And just kind of, and just coughs up spray of blood and just wheezes a little bit. And Darius says, there, get it up.
Can I try to sleight of hand him as well? This is not Mabel's forte, but she knows that they were supposed to have picked something up. And she's trying to figure out if they still have it on them.
Ooh, okay.
That was the whole point of her trying to... She's not trying to loot bodies. She's trying to see
Right.
if they have it in their pocket somewhere.
Yeah, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check, and then let me know what you
Can
get, and I'll follow
I-
up with you after that. Yes, Amina.
Can I help her with that by distracting Darius?
Okay. How do you distract Darius?
I'm gonna ask him about that 3-eyed crow.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Darius, I
Yes.
saw something strange in the sky.
Really?
Not really in the sky. It was more perched on a window. Forgive me, I don't really know much about the flora and fauna. Are 3-eyed crows normal here?
Make a persuasion check.
So I get advantage?
But yes, you are distracting Darius. Darius is very intrigued by this. You said exactly the right thing. Persuasion check to learn more. Darius turns to face Amina. Yes, sleight of hand at advantage, please.
Only 19.
19. You are confident. Other than the things that you already noticed when you were at the tavern, like a lot of the extra coins, Eric has, like Stephen, a lot of recently purchased rings, jewelry, necklaces, has sort of a fine powder, and a back likely cocaine or something. Yeah, recreational stimulants, and like an alchemical pouch.
Mabel don't
Somewhat
judge.
common.
D-spice.
It's not like, yeah,
Just real
it's
quick,
not that,
D-spice.
yeah. Do you spice, bro? Some recreational
24 on
peppers.
that per persuasion.
Okay, all right. So come back to that for a second. Mabel, in the meantime, other than that, you find absolutely nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Make an insight check, Mabel. Amina, 24 you said?
Yes.
Okay, you're kind of, really doing everything you can to distract Darius, and without even thinking, you can see that you have your genuine curiosity, or your attempt at genuine curiosity.
I actually want to know if it,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about this crow, but it's just, I'm pretty sure it'd save me from getting blasted in the face, so I'd like to know more about it.
Without even thinking too much, Darius just says, "Oh, that's my familiar."
Oh,
Fucker.
very handsome. Oh,
That's why he... Fucker!
That's how he was following us that whole freaking time.
I'll
I told
shoot
you.
that damn thing the next time I
I
see
know,
it.
we were all like, it's just a regular crow, it's fine.
Eyes and ears everywhere. It's a very impressive. His name is Tabarax.
I was gonna ask, what a lovely name.
He just whistles, and almost instantaneously, the 3-eyed raven kind of lands on his forearm, and just kind of starts to pet the back of the raven's head. The
Okay.
3-eyed raven.
Do not tell Khadijah, and I'm just gonna pull out like a strip of like jerky and hand it to the raven.
The raven just kind of takes a bit of jerky, and then kind of looks around, and then kind of hops over to the table, and kind of puts a beak, starts, and Mabel, you kind of see this happening. You're deep in thought, but the raven kind of goes into Eric's coin purse and takes out a silver coin and sort of hops back over on Darius's arm and kind of gestures over at Amina with the silver coin.
This bastard taught his bird capitalism.
No, ravens are just like that. Ravens are rude.
I mean, I'm not going to refuse. So I'm just gonna hold up my hand.
You see, Eric just says, "Did that raven just rob me?"
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Right, it's just, you worry about getting better.
I really
just-
like the outrage by Avalon. Toward this bad capitalism.
It's exploiting the worker class to pay
Yeah.
for a treat. It's capitalism.
Oh my
I'm gonna
gosh!
give it back, but not in front of the raven. It's rude.
Yes, you
Yes,
always
that-
accept gifts from ravens and crows. What were you gonna say, Renee?
No, I said my chest hurts from laughing.
Oh yeah.
so much.
This is great. Okay, let's cut over to Willow here for a moment. On the 3rd floor.
While she was climbing, Willow would have, or before starting to climb, Willow would have stowed the shield in the bag of holding as well.
Okay.
Which shield? Your shield or one of the ones that got nicked by Key?
Oh,
My shield is one of the ones that got nicked by
Oh,
Key. I defaced
nice.
it so it didn't look like a guard shield anymore.
Oh yeah.
Essie, I did roll a 16 on insight.
Insight. Okay, thank you.
I don't know what it was for. I just wrote it down.
There is nothing that they had to drop off. They were coming to pick something up, but exactly what that is, you have no idea. There doesn't seem to be any. You haven't seen any packages or anything anywhere, and the people that were they were here to meet, they had given them instructions to go down into the basement, if you remember,
Okay.
and there was nothing down in the basement.
Okay.
Just old printing presses.
Okay.
Willow, you make it to the top. The office is locked. Which is really funny because the woman that Garnet was face to face with took the time to walk out of the room, gently closed and lock the door.
Okay. I actually have proficiency with thieves' tools.
Okay. Yeah.
First, can I make sure there aren't any like weird traps or anything? Just cursory, just the expected look at it.
Ooh, yeah. I'll give that to you on your passive. It doesn't appear to be trapped. Seems to be a simple locking mechanism.
Okay, then yeah. Willow will grab a little tool satchel from her belt,
Okay.
unroll it, and start picking.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a d20, add your proficiency bonus, and you will use dexterity for that.
We got raided.
I quit. That was an 8 total. I rolled a natural 3.
Oh no.
An 8 total. Okay. So from what are the passive perceptions of Mabel and Amina are inside, right? Inside the warehouse?
Mhm.
Okay, what are your passive perceptions?
15.
14.
Okay. You hear a poof, like a poof of smoke, and you can see sort of like this sort of misty cloud. And just as your tools break, you hear the door open from the other side. And Alessia is standing on the other side of the door.
I was gonna bust it down.
And
I
she
got
says,
these fucking force gauntlets. I was gonna shatter that bastard.
She says, "Can I help you look for something?" Hello.
If you like. I assumed I wasn't doing what I was supposed to, because the other one... They introduced themselves, right? Our dragon, Night Blossom?
Yes,
Uh-uh.
they addressed each one of you individually.
Oh, not Mabel. Mabel was inside.
Oh, okay, that's right. Everyone except
Okay.
Mabel, because Mabel was busy with Darius and Alessia and Eric.
If you want to stay, go for it.
Well,
Our
well,
dragon...
3 eyes is better than 2.
Our dragon, Night Blossom, said they were leading the investigation, so I didn't think we had any help.
Well, I can at least see if there's anything magical that you might be looking for. And you can see from the other side of the mask that she wears, the eye that looks a little glazed over on the other side, it kind of lights up with like this bright blue, and you can see like a rune in her left eye. So what was kind of dull and sort of glossed just comes to life, and you can see the actual rune in her left eye, and it's now glowing this vibrant blue. And she just kind of does a once over and then kind of just gives you a wink, and that glow reverts back.
Does she keep
Sort of
the
the darkness
magic eye or
behind the
the real
mask.
or the regular eye open when she winks?
She blinks with the magic eye.
Okay.
And
I
then
was just
as
curious.
yeah,
It doesn't matter.
she
But...
blinks with the magic eye, and as she does, it dissipates as she does.
That's so cool.
Not seeing anything magic in here, but you're welcome to check.
That's good to know. When you described it last session, you said there were like papers scattered around the desk, right?
Mhm.
Am I remembering that correctly?
Correct.
Hold on, I'm gonna move into the room.
The papers have now been removed, though. I just don't have a map that is mapped without papers.
Okay, no, that's fine.
yeah.
Are there any like books or anything that I can see?
There is a bookshelf behind the desk, but where once Garnet had seen Amina had seen documents and like sort of like a ledger and a notepad, like you can see represented on the desk there from before, that has all been removed entirely. That was what that mysterious woman took with her when she left on the barge that is now traveling up the river.
Okay.
But a lot of books behind the desk, for sure.
Okay. I will take a look at those in a moment.
Ooh, also hydrate, everyone. Go ahead and hydrate, and another tarot card. Ooh, this was an interesting one.
I just want to investigate the desk, look in the drawers, whatever. See if any of them are locked. See if there are any like secret passage or secret compartments I can find. Anything of that nature.
Okay, sure. For a general check on the room, for the whole room, I would say that's going to be perception. But if you're looking at something specific, then we can use your investigation. Just the desk
okay.
at
the moment.
Sure. Okay, investigation on the desk then. Thank you for clarifying. And that is that's Garnet's tarot pull.
Finally rolled over a fucking 10. 21 total.
Yes, there are 2 locked drawers, cabinet drawers on either side of the desk, and a secondary locked under cabinet that all 3 have been locked. So.
And you said my tools broke when trying to unlock the door?
You have more. You have spares, but...
Well, I can create tools if I need to.
Oh, okay, yeah. One of them did break.
Class feature, so...
Cool. You can totally just create some new ones.
Yeah, she takes... Willow takes a minute to, like,
mm-hmm.
dig out a couple of similar tools from a different tool set, and just sort of, like, shapes them down real quick with the prosthetic arm, and with some additional, like, files and stuff, and then starts unlocking the drawers, if she can.
Sure. That's actually a perfect seg for our next tarot card pull from Garnet. This one is... These are so much our friends at Weird Books LLC. This is the 4 of Plants.
Plants?
4 of Plants.
had a nice little succulent in here. Cool.
Ooh.
Um,
It's a mimic.
I am Groot.
Ooh. So that is the 4 of plants. So something I'm instituting. Also, let me go ahead and link our friends at Weird Works for these tarot cards. You can check out the tarot deck there. And I think, Nikki, you have this set too, right?
Yes, I do have this
It's
set.
such a pretty set.
It is.
Something I'm instituting for the tarot cards for this deck is, Mabel, you can choose the number 4 or you can roll a d4. Willow, you can choose the number 4 or you can roll a d4.
I'll go ahead and choose it 4 in that instance.
Ooh, okay. Go ahead and continue with the desks then. With unlocking the desks as you kind of summon some more tools.
Is that a check for each drawer then?
I would say if you take 5 minutes for each of the side ones, you can absolutely do it without a check. The lock on the below the desk is a little bit more complicated. But
Okay.
the 2 lateral ones are guaranteed success with a few minutes each. But the other one in the center is a little bit more complicated. It's a nicer lock. It's a better lock. Looks like somebody had gone through lengths to secure this with a different lock. Not that seems,
Follow-up question.
Yes.
Can I redeem precious stones for myself on the channel?
Sure.
Okay, which one is it that gives advantage?
I think all in certain ways. You're going to be looking for an amethyst or a clear quartz. Let me check the clear quartz. I think that is. Clear quartz is advantage on the next wisdom or insight check, or a lesser restoration. Amethyst plus 5 temp HP or plus 1 to AC, or the use of a shield spell, and a rose quartz is for a when used in the pursuits of a charisma check or in a pursuit of a romantic endeavor, a mutually consenting romantic endeavor.
Okay, so none of them would be particularly helpful in this instance anyway. I will attempt to unlock the under the desk one first, and then after that just take the time to do the other drawers the right way.
Okay. All right. And what did you get for your investigation check before early? Also, I just want to say real quick, thank you for the raid. I know I'm a little bit late on this, but Daddy Jennifer, thank you again so much for the raid with 5. Thank you. We see you. We love you. And carry on, Willow. What was your check again?
21, investigating the desk.
21. Okay. As you kind of begin to look around at the lock itself, you can see there's a very rudimentary poison needle trap that is sort of latched onto there's a secondary hole where the locking mechanism would be. And you do notice that when you get a little closer and you have this moment like, oh my, I should probably remove my face and get a little bit further back. But you do see it. So that would be a secondary disarm. So you would have to do a check to disarm that trap, and then another one to actually unlock the desk. And Alessia kind of looks over and says, well, that's a nice trick with just creating tools like that. Very crafty.
I have broken so many tools. Learning how to replace them was kind of an essential skill.
Comes with the territory, I suppose.
You might not want to stand on this side of the desk just in case. And
Good to
Willow
know.
pulls down her goggles, and the helmet on the armor just like slides over the top of her head as well, just for some added protection, hopefully. Can I attempt to deal with the trap first, or
Yeah, absolutely.
is it like
Absolutely.
okay? Yeah, I would like to do that and then roll for the lock.
Okay, so DC 15 to disarm the trap with Thieves' Tools, Dexterity plus Proficiency.
Yep. Okay, cool.
As the helmet kind of and your goggles down by your side, you're really getting in there intensely. And
It was an 11 for the trap. If I get shot, I get shot.
okay. Alessia looks very intent at what you're doing, and you get a little. Have you ever accidentally stuck yourself with an EpiPen?
No.
I see. I see. Nikki is saying yes. So you're kind of doing it, and then you feel like or yeah, have you ever had blood taken in your finger? It's like that, but a lot heavier and a lot more intense, and there's a sting to it. And you get a little overconfident, and it goes right in between two of your knuckles and then back out again. So
Ew.
it springs in, and you're like, oh, that was not pleasant.
Ow.
And you take 3 piercing damage and 3 poison damage. And Alessia just oof. Ouch.
Willow just like slowly like pulls the needle out as slow as she can just to make sure she doesn't damage herself any further. Cursing in Dwarven the whole time. And then when she's done, she sort of like shakes her hand and goes back in for the lock.
Okay. Yep. Once the trap has sprung, it doesn't trigger again until you reset it manually. So same thing. Proficiency with dexterity on your d20 for the lock. Alessia's just kind of vibing, hanging out with you.
It was an 8. This is a terrible night for Willow.
Oh no.
New dice. It's new dice time.
New dice, new dice.
These were the ones that won the tournament too. They lied. They lied to me.
You used them all up.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be recharged now.
I just picked 2 more at random. Anyway, if I fail the lock pick, Willow will attempt to destroy the lock.
Okay.
Just punch it.
Not if. I know I failed the thing. It was an 8. But
Okay. Go ahead and make a we'll
I'm
say
just gonna punch it with the thunder gauntlets. It's
Yeah.
okay.
her melee weapon for the guardian armor does thunder damage. I'm hoping I can just shatter the fucking thing.
Okay, this might be funny. Do me a favor, make a sleight of hand check, DC 11, to see if you accidentally just shatter the whole desk.
That would also be acceptable.
Yes.
It was a natural 18 on the die.
Okay. So y'all hear like this loud bang, like from up top, and you're all like, "What?" And
Yeah,
it's like
so-
a bang and a crack, and you just kind of look up at Alessia, and Alessia's kind of looking very quizzically at you, and you're just, you know, I don't know if Willow's embarrassed, but it's definitely a situation where Alessia's like,
So-
"Are you all right?" with her look. Go ahead.
What happens is Willow's down there with the tools.
Yeah.
She thinks she's got it, goes to turn the lock. Tink! Snaps again. She just like rolls her fingers and just thunk, just like one of those real quick sort of like 1-inch punch kind of things
Mm-hmm.
with her thunder gauntlet. And this this hydraulic on her forearm slams, and there's this like loud crack, like you say, and the wood and the lock just sort of like splinters as she slams into it with her fist.
Okay, very cool. And Alessia just, I suppose that's one way to get the job done. And the 2 other locks also, with the amount of pressure from your prosthetic, also kind of crack, and the desk bows in a way that you can just very easily kind of maneuver and jostle each one on the side to. The 2 on the side contain seemingly very legal and above board shipping manifests of various cargo. Again, this is a docks warehouse. It's not a printing press. There's also recent documents that pertain to the import of printing presses, the delivery of printing presses from an address in the Adra Kalina, the City of Lights, in the Furia Canasta, the Human District, the eastern district.
Willow makes a mental note of that, just sort of skimming the ledgers, and then wraps them, or closes them back up, ties them together just so they're together, and tosses them in the bag of holding to look at more closely later, and then starts rooting around in this special compartment.
Also, for the raid, I pulled a card for the raid, so I have a quick benefit to give out. It's the Two of Plants. It's another plant card. I'll shuffle these a little bit better next time. This one is the yellow and orange background. So again, thank you for the raid. Two of Plants. Out of the there. And I'll put that in the middle. So if I could have... everybody go ahead and roll a d20. This is a one-time benefit, so we'll do a full table d20 to see if who can benefit from the raid. So thank you, raiders, for pulling another tarot card, the Two of Plants. 15, and put your results in the roll 20, please. 15, ooh. 9, 15, 15. 16, ooh, 16.
Of course.
Oh.
Ooh, okay. Amina,
Ooh.
Oh my
Amina
gosh,
and
those
Harmony, you both get advantage on your next wisdom survival checks. So the next time that either Amina or Harmony would have to make a survival check, make sure that both of you put it in your notes, that you will make the next survival check at advantage with the blessing of the Two of Plants. And also from the previous tarot card, from the Four of Plants, Avalon defaulting to the 4. In the central drawer is a lot of knickknacks and some office supplies, as well as an ornamental dagger that has the head of, it's sort of the hilt seems to be feathered, and the head of the dagger has sort of a sideways bust of a raven's head. And also, there is sort of a lapel clasp that signifies sort of an office manager position that would be familiar to all of you. Just simply sort of it is a cogwheel that has sort of a cogwheel and a hammer, sort of an upright hammer in the center. And that's sort of an office manager. Some of them might be wreathed in flames. Some might have 2 hammers, but sort of just a general operations manager type of lapel clasp. And also, you find a collection of sort of green, leafy, seemingly sort of coniferous leaves, or sort of thick. Not really coniferous, sorry. Not pine, but sort of like thick, rubbery leaves that have been sort of cut from twigs or stems, and they have this sort of bright red berries all the way down these rubbery leaves.
I don't know that Willow would recognize them, but are these good berries? That's
Would you
just
like
me
to try
asking
them?
if I'm allowed to know. Not with Alessia being the only one in the room.
Okay, that's fair.
I
that's
learned
fair.
some lessons.
Also, I just want to
Um,
say the last time you tried a berry, that
Yeah.
did not go well at all.
Yeah.
I disagree. I got a plot hook. It was great. How? All right. Does Alessia seem to notice like the dagger and stuff? Is she looking so closely that I couldn't slip the dagger into the bag of holding without her noticing?
She's watching you. Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. As a natural 1. Changing dice did not help.
Wow,
Oh
she
my
just
God.
she just watches you kind of like make eye contact and move your arms and put something in your bag of holding, and she just raises an eyebrow and says, "What is that you just put into your bag?"
Nothing.
Well then,
I I don't know yet. I'm gonna identify it later and go from there.
Would you mind if I take a look?
The sigh is in character. Yeah, she'll pull it back out and give it to Alessia.
I'm so sorry your rolls are being so bad tonight.
Yeah, roll
If I
with
weren't out of freaking spell slots, I could have just identified it on the spot. Still would have taken like a minute, but whatever. Anyway, sorry. Yes, I hand over the dagger.
She kind of picks it up and holds it in her hands. Very interesting. I think I recognize this. This could be something deeper, important. I'll have to deliver this to our dragon, Night Blossom.
Sure.
I'm sorry, it's a natural one.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
None of this is directed at you.
That was great. Sure. We have a lot of fun here, folks. We have a lot of fun.
Willow puts the berries in her bag too, and let's just go to investigate the bookshelf next.
Okay.
First thing I want to look for over there, though, is any like settled dust on the shelves, with any spots that have been like disturbed recently.
Ooh, okay. So a lot of these books are not well read. There are a few that have been pulled, mostly about ancient Arcassian history, theories on magical artifice, business manuals, management theory, like some whatever the weird version of Atlas Shrugged is here. So like some fascist capitalist bullshit, right? This is the best reaction from Kurt.
Not only is it like a fascist book, it's like the most basic
Yeah.
book as well. Like you couldn't have even gone for like something a bit deeper. You did the most basic thing you could find.
Management theory is the most boring thing I can possibly imagine. I would like to take a quick look at that and, make sure it is what it proclaims to be on the spine.
Yes, all of the books here are exactly what they proclaim to be. There's also tome geography, and those are the only ones that have been used. Sort of world geography.
Okay. Can I just stow the ones on magical artifice and the geography book?
Sure.
Okay.
Alessia doesn't seem to care.
That's fine. My thinking is that geography book might have some sort of like marks in it relating to, movements or whatever. I
Sure.
don't know.
Yeah.
And magical artifice is just because nerd.
Sure. Yeah. Pretty standard stuff, like a college, collegiate level, Barnes and Noble level textbook. Pretty standard.
Probably stuff she knows. Hell, she might even have had that specific book, but
Not like the
you
special
never
Yellow
know.
King version, not like the special Yellow King edition of the Necronomicon that I found at Barnes and Noble. I'm just kidding. Though I did buy it.
I have found a new appreciation for used bookstores recently.
Oh yeah, that too.
I found a misprint of The Wizard of Oz at one recently.
Ooh.
It's spelled incorrectly on the spine.
Oh.
It's like an old
Amazing.
paperback of The Wizard of Oz, and I'm just it delights me to no end. But anyway,
Cool.
I guess I'll take one last look around the room, see if there's anything that seems noteworthy. Has Alessia touched anything since we got in here?
Nope.
Or has she just been like watching me closely?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just take one last look around the room, see if there's anything of note.
Okay. Yeah. Everything important seems to have been cleared out.
Was there like a management like a plaque with someone's name on it or something? On the door, on the desk? Anything to suggest who the manager of this office was?
Yes. There is a a plaque on the desk that says Sarah Smith.
And you asked.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she makes note of that to try to follow up with later, and goes back downstairs, or back down the ladder, whatever.
Okay.
Spending the rest of the campaign
Very.
for Sarah Smith.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make an insight check, Willow.
Okay.
It's no longer Heavensfire. It's searching for Sarah Smith.
Yeah.
$11.
Yeah, seems legit. not like a made-up name at all.
Roll with your other
Sorry,
hand.
You need other.
I'm
You
so
don't have
irritated
dice.
with my dice right now.
Give your dice a kiss before you roll them. It
Yeah.
might change the result.
I think this is just a representation of Willow's frustration right now and like general mental upset. It's just the dice trying to
Yeah.
force the roleplay, I think.
Above game, absolutely a made-up name from some.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, technically all of them are, but that's beside the point.
Well, made up in universe with the
You may-
knowledge of the peoples involved in universe.
You may have made it up. We're gonna make it real.
Yeah, you're right.
That's my next character, actually.
Oh my god.
Willow just goes back downstairs,
Okay.
cursing under her breath. She's very frustrated right now.
Ah. Okay. Right, no, that's the wrong one. I need the first floor. First floor interior. Okay. So Willow heads back down. Now, in the meantime, right around the same time, the two other soldiers return with two other soldiers. They multiply. Well, it's also a fortress city, and 2 medics who immediately kind of begin flooding in. And you can see the 2 of the medics run right over to Aer'ath. And this is, you're kind of still up at the office at this point, and like you're kind of heading out now. And just as you kind of get to the landing, you can see the 2 medics and the 2 other soldiers have returned with a stretcher to take Aer'ath to the infirmary, which is actually in the central stronghold of Issindra's shield.
Before they take them, Mabel's just I'm gonna put my hands on either side of the shoulder and look at Eric and be like, "It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I will come check on you later, okay?" Because I've been sitting there talking to him this whole time and just
Yeah, he
getting
seems
himself down.
he seems content. He's happy to see everyone. He's happy to see Darius and Alessia and Amina and Harmony.
Has
Key,
he
and-
asked about Steven?
No?
Okay, does this seem sus to Mabel?
Make an insight check.
Oh god.
You can make one too if you want, Amina.
Yes, please.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
Come on. 11.
11.
Oh, that's not
I
great.
think. Oh.
Yeah, it's a 7.
Okay.
Well, you know what? That's actually a good question. So to clear one thing up, I would say that he does appear as they take him away to look very sad. He looks at the puddle of blood on the floor from Stephen, and you can see tears welling up in his eyes, and he looks back at Mabel and at Darius and kind of puts a hand out for both Darius and Mabel and says, "Just happy to have the opportunity to serve my country. I'm sure Stephen would have said the same. Might and majesty." And Darius says, "Might and majesty, brave soldier." Perhaps
Mabel-
someday we'll get you into the Order of the Blazing Shield. I will put in a personal recommendation for you.
I personally am filled with rage at all of this.
Yeah.
As a player and human being with a soul. In character, no.
Yes.
Darius is such a
Mabel-
sussy little shit, honestly.
And yeah, and just to thank you for keeping me company, Amina. I would love to have you play me a song while I'm in the infirmary.
I'll
Something
be there in the morning.
patriotic. As they kind of take him away.
I don't say anything.
Patri-
Squeeze his hand.
As Amina thinks just to herself, whose country? Yours or mine?
Yeah, that's why Mabel never
Probably, yeah.
say anything. She just squeezed his hand and was like staring at Darius while doing it and not saying anything.
Because this is not the same guy
No,
I was
yeah,
this is
one-
not
flirting with
anything.
at the bar. This is...
Maybe will not be sus enough, but she's definitely like, this isn't right.
One more affirmation as they take him away. He just, I hope they think here. I don't know if I want to phrase that. Yeah, as they're taking him away, he just, long live the Voskratoria, death to rebels!
I make
and-
eye contact with Amina.
Daria says, well, I think this seems to be a pretty open and shut case. It's very clear that our friend was involved somehow with disseminating these pamphlets from some misguided sense of nationalism. We will have to assess his mental stability, see if he is even fit to return to the workforce, and have him evaluated by our own physicians. And perhaps he might have to be committed to the care of a trained psychiatric provider, but we'll make sure that he gets the care he needs, and justice will be done. And if it is indeed him and this Stephen that disseminated these pamphlets with help from likely rebels, I believe it is safe to say that with intelligence based on recent rebel activity in the Watcher's Wood, we have a few suspects in mind as to who could have possibly posed with some sort for some sense of nationalistic pride and trying to convince these two young children that they were actually serving the crown by somehow brewing trouble. It's complicated and it doesn't really make too much sense to me, but we know that the rebellion works in strange ways, and we know that the Kyrosian Empire had nothing to do with it. So rest assured, our additional insight and investigation to the matter will, I am sure, come up in the clear. The young lad seems to have suffered some sort of trauma involved with this. I believe he seems to be confused himself. But we'll make sure that he receives the proper care. And as far as justice being done for the poor lad who seems to have a misguided sense of reality, we'll make sure he gets, again, all of the health care that he deserves, that he has coming to him. Oh, open and shut, I think. We'll track down the rebels who were responsible for manipulating these two poor youths into carrying out this sort of propaganda misinformation that put your two lives at risk and put together the good nature that this that the Voskratoria has built with the Empire over the past several decades, centuries even. I believe everything is on hand and under control, and I will take care of the paperwork late into the night tonight. I was up anyway, and what's a few more hours?
Honestly, I'm surprised there's any rebels left.
See, the rebels spread like rats. They're hard to get rid of. I don't think we'll be hearing from any rebels on the Isle of Halavas anytime soon. It's very likely that this was an act of retaliation for Halavas. And we know that they can be very crafty, very clever, to the point of convincing young and misguided youth that they are actually serving the greater purpose of the nation by forming some kind of a wedge between the crown and the empire. This has been a tactic we've seen used before, a manipulation tactic of propaganda from the rebels trying to force a war between the nations. It all sort of circles back to the things that make the most sense. Like I said, an open and shut case. Thanks to you. Well done.
Nina's just gonna kind of curtsy and then look at Harmony and just go, "It has been a very long night. I need to get back to Dawn. Can we
Right.
go home?"
Well, given that this is an open and shut case, we should be heading out.
Just out of curiosity, and
Oh.
also because they haven't spoken much. What is Key doing?
Yes, let's go over to Key and Harmony outside.
Sorry, Rory as a person is having some difficulty. Key, I don't know. Key is like, maybe I shouldn't have brought Fira. It's fine.
Fiera looks horrified, by the way, and as Eric was passing, hearing these words, Fiera would have looked at Key and been like, and then kind of avoiding eye contact with Harmony, just being like, just giving you a look of what the fuck? That's not Eric.
Oh, was that Eric?
Yeah, I just put him there.
Oh, okay.
Because he was, yeah.
Bye.
See ya. Are you okay, Key?
Yeah.
Fiera, you look absolutely, well, pale as a ghost isn't really the right term.
Oh, am I that transparent? Sorry, Eric is a friend of ours and seems to be a bit confused.
Yes, well, when I did walk in before, he wasn't in the best of conditions. He might have a concussion. Confusion, delirium.
Sure. They just look back over at Key and like, sure. Yeah, I'm ready to leave whenever everyone else is. Maybe I shouldn't have been down here. You know, I see if I can check in on Eric.
Yes. Absolutely. I understand. I could give you some air and maybe go with you back to the tavern.
I think I would like that.
Yeah. He just looks at Harmony.
As you get at this point, you can hear sort of this blood-curdling scream echo through the night. You know exactly who it comes from. And it's not silenced. It's just a scream of madness from Eric. You know it's Eric. That echoes from the top of the hill. That is... Long live the rebellion! And then just screams that sort of die down, and then just sort of confused screaming. And it's very loud and very clear. And it eventually sort of quiets down as they likely get him inside the infirmary. And Darius just... Oh dear. I said traumatic identity crisis of some kind.
Can I insight check that?
Absolutely.
Is he saying that to Mabel, or is he outside with everybody?
Kind of, he said it to the group. And
Okay, because Mabel was still inside.
He says, very unfortunate.
We believe in you, Avalon.
You shouldn't. That's a 10 total.
And he just kind of puts a hand on Mabel's shoulder and just... I'll make sure everyone gets the chance to visit him and check in. Visiting hours will remain open for our friend here. Well, it's very likely that in this attack suffered some kind of a... As Harmony had said just momentarily ago, some kind of a concussion or shock and trauma. Gets connected with a rebel cell. Rebel cell convinces him he's serving the crown, and he finds out that he was in fact serving the rebellion, and it's his head, some form of trauma. Who knows if there was some kind of poison in this assassin's bow. We'll have our physicians get right on it, and we'll make sure that everyone takes good care of him. But in the meantime, you are, of course, more than welcome to visit this young lad in the infirmary. I only hope that he recovers fully from this situation. The two that seem to have perpetrated it, one dead, one in the care of the state, being taken care of to advise and nurture his health.
They didn't perpetrate anything. They were underlings. They were paid by someone to do stuff. We know that.
It doesn't absolve them of disseminating information that could potentially start a war, but I would take that under advisement, certainly, when considering ongoing decisions regarding Eric. You are most welcome, of course, to both visit and advise on the situation.
Willa just frowns and just looks away. She's not sure exactly what to say, and it feels like he's not deliberately not listening, so she's not comfortable with things and doesn't know how to articulate exactly what's wrong.
I think now is the best time that we perhaps get everyone rested. It has been a long night for all of you.
Daria says, yes, I think that's a wonderful idea. We could all definitely use some rest. I will be up through the evening communicating with the war room as to how we can best find the individuals that perpetrated this. As you said, Willow, indeed. The rebel cell that seems to have came here and manipulated the youth into disseminating these documents. Traumatizing our poor young lad here. We will be working through the night. Rest assured, you have my word.
Well then, shall we?
Yes, and I believe you have some business with the merfolk or something of that nature. Also, the lawmaster is still waiting to check in with you.
Yes. A lot to do. Very busy.
Kind of walks over to Harmony and puts a hand on Harmony's shoulder. Well done with the response time, Harmony. You're on top of your work as always. It is appreciated. You've served the crown with dignity tonight.
As always, I do my best.
When it comes time to hunt down the rebel cells that are responsible for the damage that was caused here, I'll personally let you know. You can share the information with your team. Perhaps you can be responsible for hunting down the rebel cell that caused all of this disorder and chaos.
I think anyone responsible for taking the life of someone so young as they were deserve to be crushed. I look forward to that.
When he
Couldn't
says
agree with you
that
more.
she'll be responsible for hunting down the rebels, Willow just walks away. Just walks outside. Yeah.
Anything you need, Sergeant Knights. Communication is open.
I'll be sure to let you know if we need anything.
Might and Majesty, Sergeant Knights.
Might and Majesty. And Harmony will kind of like try and escort everyone and Gerald out of let's leave Darius now. Come on, guys, let's leave him.
Mabel hasn't moved. The entire time Darius was talking, Mabel's shoulders have gotten hunched farther, and she had stuck her hands into the pockets of her pants, so you couldn't see, but her muscles have started bulging a little because she's like just clenching her fists and holding them to her side. And she doesn't say anything, but she has been staring directly at him the whole time. And silently intimidating, so that she's not trying to hide the fact that she doesn't believe a single word he's saying. Like, does not trust him or anything.
I feel like her internal monologue is just shut up, 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 shut up.
Don't
do it.
Alessia kind of walks over, stands over by the blood, and you can see her fidgeting with something in her fingers, in her gloves. Then she brushes her hair behind her ear, and you can see just a tiny flash of light. She looks forward, takes a deep breath, looks over at Mabel knowingly. You can see that there are very serious emotions on her face, not like you've ever seen from Alessia, and just puts a hand on your shoulder, comforting you.
You know this isn't right.
Do it. Unionize the mini boss.
You
Come to our side.
You hear a message in the back of your mind, telepathically. Kind of echoing through your consciousness. And she just says, kind of hand on your shoulder. When the time is right. Just kind of taps you on the shoulder. And it gives you a half smile and a little nod. And walks out the door.
She's trying to Darth Vader this shit. She's the Darth Vader to Darius's Palpatine.
And that's where we're gonna take a break.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
God I ran out of water like 45 minutes ago.
All right, 10-minute break, everybody. 12:16, 12:17 or so.
This is so intense.
Round
I
12.
know.
Oh, this is so good. I'm so angry, but this is so good.
I was literally digging my nails into my palms, and I have like red marks all over.
Oh no no no.
Oh no.
I'm
Uh,
about to go throw my dice in
yeah.
the fucking garbage disposal.
Oh.
Seriously, new dice. Roll with another hand.
What I think is everybody needs to grab another set of dice to
Yeah,
Everybody swap dice. Let's do it.
and Key, Fiera grabs you by the locks arms with you and it's like, come on, let's get out of here. There's something not right. And is the first to kind
Yeah.
of bring you out of there.
yeah.
So 10-minute break. And Fiera and Key just kind of lock arms and take off first, kind of looking back a few times like, what the fuck? And we'll see y'all back here in 10 minutes. Cool. Take care of yourselves.
Just before I forget to mention it,
Mhm.
outside the front gate because Willow left a second ago. When everyone else comes out, Willow has her back to the wall and is sitting on the ground. Her goggles are sort of hanging from her hand, and she just has her eyes closed, and she's just like sitting like with her head resting against the wall, arms resting on her knees with her goggles in her hands. And that's how she is found.
All right. 12:18 will be back. Take care of yourselves, y'all. We'll see you soon. Be right now. NT. So, welcome back to this, as we call it, the Sussy-baka behavior, as Renee put it. So, everyone, as the crowd disperses, where would y'all like to go? What would y'all like to do? It's about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mabel's still
Wait,
inside.
Sorry, no, it's midnight, because it was you were at the tavern 9, probably close to approaching midnight.
Mabel is still in the building.
Okay,
She
all right.
waited. She purposely waited until everybody had left.
Okay, Mabel is still in the building, and
Harmony
Willow.
would be waiting for Mabel specifically because Harmony knows that Mabel and Darius have it a little tense. So Harmony just wants to make sure that Mabel is okay, but also is just kind of wanting to get Mabel away from Darius.
I waited till Darius left too. After
Oh,
he
okay.
walked out the door. Like it's Mabel alone. She's waiting for.
Yeah,
Okay.
he leaves with Alessia.
Are you coming with us, Mabel, or?
She, as soon as Darius walked out, Mabel made a beeline for the stairs to go downstairs.
Mabel? Harmony looks at the rest of the group.
Like to the basement level?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Harmony.
Is she okay?
Amina is actually with Willow. Not like she wants to put a comforting hand on her, but also knows that Willow is kind of in her own head, so just sits next to Willow.
Fiera and Key, as Fiera's kind of bringing you out, they stop and they see Willow kind of just sitting against the side of the fence, and they look at you and just kind of take a few steps closer. And at that time, kind of Darius and Alessia pass by them. So y'all are by Willow. Just wanted to set up the logistics there. Go ahead. Sorry.
Harmony, who were you asking? Is she okay?
I feel like Harmony went to go and ask everyone else and then realized everyone had split off and just kind of sighs and goes to chase after Mabel.
Like,
Keeping
the answer is no.
yeah. The silence responded back with a no. So Harmony's gonna follow just like 10 feet. Just keep giving you distance, but also making sure that you're not gonna get yourself hurt.
Yep. I just head down the stairs.
Okay, so Willow is outside against the wall with Key and Fiora. Key, do you you would have heard Harmony kind of inquire as to the group as well. What are Key's thoughts?
He's keeping Key's thoughts to themselves.
That's fair.
For the majority, Key's more just there as like showing that they can be compassionate to talk to, but I can't see on this map where.
Oh, let's see. Let me make sure you have vision. Oh no. Okay. What's your dark vision? Do you have dark vision?
120.
Damn.
Okay. How about now?
Yes. Good.
Okay.
They got that devil's sight.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, just you saying devil's sight.
And Amina, you're heading outside with Key and Willow.
Yeah, I grab Gerald. Or rather, I just sort of pat my thigh and indicate for him to follow us outside.
Kind of walking right by, looking up, kind of following you as you walk out.
Boy.
No.
Good boy.
Kind of just when you stop, he stops and kind of just sits down by your side and looks up.
You're a good boy. And I'm gonna give him like a bigger piece, like a piece of the jerky that I ripped off for the raven. I'm just gonna just toss him the whole like giant piece that
Choose-
Khadijah's been nibbling on, and I'm just like, I gotta get her another one. Shh, it'll be fine.
Is Khadijah on your shoulder right now?
No, she's back at the embassy.
Oh, that's right, with Dawn. Yep. Okay. Chewing very loudly and kind of just like slobbering, all over the ground with the jerky.
Yeah, just sitting with Willow. I wish she knows she's not by herself. While we wait for the others to finish whatever it is they're doing.
Gerald kind of walks over to Willow and just kind of starts licking Willow's face.
Oh, it's so good boy.
The big lizard tongue.
Therapy puppo.
Like,
Oh.
you're like,
I think. At first, she tries to sort of bat it away. If it persists, I think after a minute or so, she would begrudgingly, like, despite everything, she would probably start laughing a little, and, like, it would break tension,
mhm.
No.
despite herself.
I love it.
If you laugh, Amina laughs.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're in the basement again.
That's the
Fuck.
Heavensfire. Mabel doesn't really care if she realizes Harmony is behind her. I remember them saying that they had to come down to get something from the basement. And I hadn't felt like they had anything on them. So to cover her bases, Mabel just wants to come down. Like, I don't know if she knew that Willow and Amina had come down here because she had been outside the whole time.
I don't think that was ever talked about.
No, I don't think it was.
So she has come down here to look for herself. Like, she wants to just... And at this point, she doesn't really care how she leaves this place. So she is going to just throw things around looking.
Okay.
Ready to... not bash things open, but she's not being careful. Like, she's just trying to look everywhere.
Well, Harmony, that's the scene that you come into, and Mabel. There are again the old printing presses that have the tiles have been removed. There are puddles of ink. They are dirty, but the tiles and plates have been scoured or removed. And there are crates upon crates upon crates, and a lot of them are just trade goods and trade supplies, shipping supplies. There's a lot of post crates here to be shipped to other parts of the realm. Hundreds of crates that are likely destined for shipping of some kind. Tools, shipping equipment, and Harmony Mabel is just kind of tossing things around, making a wee bit of a mess as you.
Mabel, you need to stop. What are you doing?
Come help me. And I like pulling cloth up. I'm looking for something.
Something doesn't help me, darling. You need to be more specific.
I can't be more specific. I just know those kids died because they were supposed to take something from Carrick, and he told them that it was down here. It might still be down here. And I turn around and just start continuing. I'll go into that other little room, seeing if there's anything labeled that looks like maybe there was some kind of secret spot down here. Like I'll go along the walls and stuff just to see.
Harmony will step into the room and will just kind of give Mabel a look at trying to see like how invested and passionate and determined she is
Sure.
to search this room.
She's very
kind of
determined. And you see her like like looking at the walls and things that have been moved and floorboards that might come up. Like she's
yeah. Harmony's gonna just sigh. All right, I'll help. Sure, just finding something easy, simple. Sure. And she just goes around and tries to follow the same. Well, she sees the printing presses, and her first kind of thought is, were these pieces of equipment cleaned in a rush, or was it just like, tidy up for the day, goodbye?
These are old printing presses, and Willow, in one of the documents, you saw a request for old and unused printing presses to be sent to the Adrakalina for sale by the Bastion's Hold shipping coster. Give you a name. So Willow has it. I'm gonna put it in.
Were they going to be scrapped for parts, or were they just going to be resold?
They were going. It was going to be sent to a sort of like up to the cellar in Bastion's Hold. So it's going to be sent to, again, a lot of the cargo here has a destination, not all of it, but the printing press specifically, which is what you found up there, Willow, has a destination of an address in the VII Canasta in the Adrakalina. It seems to be some sort of secondary dealer. Whether they dismantle it, there's no specifics. It just says sort of secondary destination. What it really seems like is a perhaps for dismantling for parts, but it seems like there was a request for new printing presses to be sent to the printing press, the main printing press in Bastion's Hold. The printing press had ordered new machines. The new machines came in through here. The old machines were to be taken out and shipped to the Eocosta. While the new machines were here, what is being alluded to is that a rebel cell had printed the documents, broke in and printed the documents, and given them to the kids for a great deal of money to sell. To disseminate, to spread around, not to sell. But to be the ones who sort of scoured the fortress city in a circle and probably went into a safe house, knowing that they had their own sort of safe house with the Quicksilver Troupe.
Right.
So that is what Darius and Alessia, or that is what Darius is alluding to, that rebel cell, and putting things together. The official story seems to be exactly that, like a rebel cell convinced these kids, whether for money or through some form of nationalism or some form of rebellion, or it's complicated and it's convoluted, but essentially, regardless of what type of magic was used or what type of propaganda or manipulation was used, and again, this is more of the official story. Whatever was spun to these kids, they seem to have been greatly affected by it, to the point where it is affecting the sanity of one of them. But beyond the more complicated motives of Aer'ath, who is now being made out to be seen as unstable and conflicted in his own way, again, the process is new ones were shipped in, old ones were going to be shipped out. While they were both here, Rebel Cell broke in, printed the propaganda, somehow invested these two kids and got them to not only pay them handsomely, but got them invested in some way and had them spread these documents throughout the city.
Okay. Harmony's just gonna help tear apart the place, I should say, with Mabel, whilst just looking for anything that sticks out, because she doesn't really know what she's looking for. She's also just kind of like side-eyeing Mabel just to make sure that like she doesn't stop and like have a mental breakdown. Just kind of just keeping an eye on Mabel to see if she's okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So two perception checks at advantage, and also let me know what your passive perceptions are. So each of you can roll at advantage. And also the three of you up top can hear. So if you look over here, this is a ladder that goes up to the latch where the other three are seated outside. So the three of you up top can hear the basement being tossed from where you are. You could also just open the latch.
That sounds about right.
I rolled a 1 and a 19.
Okay.
So that's a 24.
I rolled 11, and then I rolled a natural 1. So that's a 12, and my passive perception is an 11.
Okay.
Passive is 15, but I rolled a 24.
Mabel, you don't want to believe that there's nothing here. But there's nothing here. And you are confident after about 10 minutes that both of you are confident. And Harmony, based on how you entered the room, I think safe to assume that Harmony, you kind of have that "oh honey" moment where you know that Mabel's not going to find what you're looking for.
When Mabel reaches the point that she realizes that, she is going to pick up whatever box is closest to her, no matter how heavy it is, and heft it and throw it as hard as she can against the wall. And while she's doing it, you can hear this sudden rumble from her chest as she growls, and then it comes out as just a as she throws it across the room. She's raging. She just raged.
Holy shit.
All of you hear that up top as well, of course.
Harmony just like
Does
puts like her hands up in a like
please
calm.
don't murder me?
Yeah, like calm. Let's calm down, ma'am. And
You're
we'll just,
you're trapped in a basement with a gorilla. Good luck.
just like okay, like calm
Maybe,
down.
Mabel.
Does Gerald react? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, Gerald kind of and just kind of gets up and so the hackles stand up and kind of just jumps and kind of looks down and is doing a a thing where every time there is a bang, kind of the heads down and just
Oh,
kind
I
of,
scared my baby.
Amina's gonna open the latch and just kind of stick her head down there, and look at Mabel and just go, I know, but can we go home?
Mabel is doing like breathing exercises, calming herself down. And she looks up and she's like, okay, let's go. And then seems to just deflate back into her normal hunched, maybe even slightly more hunched than usual, and follows, I'm sure, Harmony up the stairs.
I want to see her go wild so fucking bad.
Same.
Just
Go
absolutely
feral.
wreck someone. I want to see it.
Well, depending on how this continues to go, it might be
Yeah.
barbarian level. We don't know.
Harmony's just like kind of speechless and doesn't entirely know how to approach Mabel as she kind of lets Mabel walk past her so that she can walk with Amina.
Before I pass you, then, like, I'll just lean down and say, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what to do. And you hear like her voice break, and then she just continues walking past.
Fuck. Harmony just tries to stick close behind you. Harmony's not the comforting type. She doesn't seem like it. But you do feel like a very faint kind of like there. Almost as if like on a few of occasions she's apprehensive to do that with you.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, as we're walking out, she'll just say, we'll figure out what's going on.
Mabel just takes a deep breath and sighs in reply, but she takes comfort in it. She's just probably silent the rest of the night,
E.
except for petting Gerald on the head and saying, "Good boy."
Aw.
Yeah.
Kind of shyly following.
I'll stop and hug him and say, "I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I didn't mean
You
to
just
scare you."
E, as you're kind of walking along back to where are y'all going to be staying tonight? The embassy?
I'm staying at the end. It's like Amina is staying at the embassy because that's where Dawn is, and,
Right.
and she's been away from her long enough.
There are plenty of
Mabel-
available beds there as well.
Mabel will definitely stay at the embassy because she wants to just be wherever is closest to home.
And there's a courtyard, and it's like a little cloister type of situation.
She'll probably sleep
Willow,
outside in the courtyard.
I love that for her. Willow looks to Harmony. Was there somewhere we were planning to stay? We hadn't really talked about it.
That is in... Actually... Nope, that is entirely up to all of you where you wish to stay. I obviously have my home here, but if you'd like to room in an inn, I wouldn't mind joining you.
I think if we can stick together wherever we go, that would probably be best.
I completely agree.
Those are my sentiments, exactly.
Is it the embassy then? She looks toward Mina and Mabel. Is it alright if we stay?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
They wouldn't turn you away.
Y'all are welcome there.
Alright. I think that makes that decision then.
As you are walking, Key, you feel that same presence again. And Key is mostly quiet other than that response for the conversation, as they normally are. But Key, for a reason. For the 15 to 20... For the 20 minutes it takes you to walk from the docks to the embassy. Solid 20-minute walk. During that time, that familiar voice is with you the whole way. Do you feel it? Feel the hatred, the anger, the rage, the urge to do something about it. Tell me you feel it.
I feel it.
Good. You're learning. This world is beyond cruel. People in it, those in power. It's a joke. Not a very good one. The angrier you get, the better things will be. I was definitely inspired by the by Orlando Jones's character from the first two seasons. It was fucking tragedy that they got rid of him. Season 3, fucking travesty. But the whole anger does get shit done.
Yeah.
But he's basically like, anger is good. Harness that. And we'll have justice for your friends and for your mother.
Justice is what's deserved. More than justice. But you're not wrong. And I can let my hatred for you, or the hatred that I thought I had for you, cloud judgment any day. But I can't anymore. Can't let it cloud.
Tell me, what became of the talisman that I bestowed to your friend, that you so haphazardly buried? Did you ever uncover it?
It was never buried to begin with.
Really?
And it was only in her hands. Temporarily. And then it was in Granny's hands. But after that, I have it.
Show me.
With a sigh, just in like the pocket They just palm it. They don't really show per se, but they have it like in their hand. They had probably had it wrapped up slightly in some sort of clothing, but like a cloth, but
Good. Be wary. Maintaining the theme of things not being as they seem. 1. I will teach you how to use this, how to harness its power. And when you truly need my help, you will know when the time is right. There are emeralds you must find to activate this vestige, this ancient artifact. There are 5 emeralds spread throughout Veltheria.
where would I find these emeralds?
First you must travel north. Your journey seems to be taking you that way anyway. Deep in the sewers, below the city itself, in the old research laboratories used by the Dragon Keepers and the Watchtower, as they called themselves before, one of the emerald lies abandoned. You also may find something very interesting. Hints as to the whereabouts of the other 4, as well as some allies that might be very useful in our plans. It might even provide an alternative. See, I myself am not beyond critical thinking. I even question the motives of my own master sometimes. His views are a bit tacky, extreme, outdated. There is new blood brewing.
Blood. Emeralds.
Follow the path of the 3, and I might be swayed to a different path myself. You may find clues to the whereabouts of the other 4 beyond the location of the first, because even I have lost sight of some of them. I know of a second at the bottom of Lake Savosa, and a third in the Savage Lands to the west of the Gwynnessos. I have theories as to the locations of the other 2. Somewhere in the west for one, and it's possible our old friend Morrigan has taken the 5th, deep into her tower where time stands still. The 3 seek all artifacts of this nature, but they also seek friends, companions, like-minded individuals. Why do you think the Duskwatch has not lost their power? Why do you think they are growing in power? Oh, and do be careful with some people that you have learned to call friends. The daughter of the Overmother walks among you.
It's me. Ha ha!
Not in
Is
your
that-
not in your immediate vicinity. Just remember, the daughter of Lilith is among you. And about at that time you reach the embassy.
I don't know that you know this, but I have been writing my notes for this session on sticky notes. There's a lot now.
Oh. It's amazing.
You need some like full notebook-sized sticky notes that you can just put places.
Mm.
Man, my notes are like all over the place for this session.
DM, would we have
Yes.
walked past any guards?
Several. It's Bastion's hold, so several. Yes.
Okay. Harmony would probably try and write down a quick note and have one of the guards deliver it to her house.
Okay.
One denoting of her arrival back to the Audra and two stating that she's going to be staying somewhere else so they can rest easy for once.
Yeah, you kind of just pull over a random guard, and he says, "Sarge," and just kind of, a quick salute.
Yeah, she'll hand him a note, just be like, the address on here, deliver it.
Yes, Mom. We'll see it
No
done.
urgency.
Understood.
And she'll keep walking with the group.
Be safe, Sergeant.
Thank you.
Who's awake still when we get to the embassy?
Yeah, just past midnight, so probably Dawn is probably asleep. Your friend from the Crimson Wood. The two Kyrosian Kilni are standing guard outside. The particularly skilled, and again, both of you know that the Kilni are like the elite vanguard of the Empire. They are exceptionally skilled elite warriors, standing guard at both of the entrances, 4 of them. And they immediately kind of withdraw their axes as you approach. There is a crowd of about 10 people kind of camped outside as well, kind of seated outside, and kind of keeping an eye on things, right? How there was a crowd that was drawn, and they're kind of not causing a ruckus, which is why they were allowed to stay. They're just kind of... They give you all dirty looks when you approach, but they're not otherwise not causing trouble. And at this point, other than that, there's very few people out. It's a military city. There's like a curfew and there's lights out, so it's not a party city. The most happening place to be is at the Beached Leviathan.
Mm.
So,
I was really just wanting to know, like, who could I talk to 1, take a bath, and then 2, crawl into bed with Dawn.
Oh,
the
there's
only 2 things I want to do right now.
There's Ivana is snoring very loudly. But let me grab her name. Aravina. I'm sorry, y'all. I have got like literally 350 NPCs to keep track of.
That's all right.
I'm sorry to y'all and to our audience if I have to look up a couple, but in my notes, it happens.
Like, name one
Savarina.
Steve, and then just go down the
Yeah.
alphabet. Like,
Right?
leave, Neve. Just, it's fine.
You could also you could name one Eric if you wanted to as well. Like there's some easy names you could use.
Oh, we
for
have.
Sure.
Yeah, there's lots of There's 2 Erics. Well, there is an Eric, and then there's an Eric, and then there's Carrick. So
I mean, there are like 1,000 ways to spell Eric. So
yeah. That's true.
Aeryk.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Aravina is kind of gazing up at the stars from the center of the courtyard as y'all approach. She has taken her blindfold off and is just kind of gazing up at the now clear night sky.
The urge to begin playing is very strong. Like that pull of the moon and my goddess, but it's just like, I can't. I don't have it in me because of everything that has happened to do any form of communing or worship to my goddess, and I just want to go to bed. But I don't want to get into bed potentially with someone else's blood on me, so I need a bath.
It looks like Ivana has actually pulled back the two other guards from an exterior position to have one patrol the inner courtyard and a second stand guard outside of Dawn's room, as it's more of a cloister situation. And there are two outside of the main gates, but the third is kind of patrolling the rear entrance, which is also is reinforced and barred.
That is currently none of my business. So yeah, I'm gonna go into the room and get ready for bed. I'm just gonna kind of wave goodnight to everyone. My normal chipper demeanor is drained. I need to trance and cuddle.
Yeah, no, there is also. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying I will hug you.
Oh yeah. There is also a washroom, so anyone that wants to can have a relaxing bath. It's like a large wooden tub, like one of the wooden tubs with like the steel clasps on the outside,
Nice.
like lacquered wood. It's like a bigger version of the Witcher tub. But there is one there for anyone that wants to decompress. It's the embassy. There's probably some bath salts, some scented soaps. Pretty nice things there that you can definitely unwind with. And there is Kyrosian red dragon wine, which is sort of like a cross between like a spiced mulled red mead and a red blend wine.
Mabel's gonna have a few glasses of that.
Yeah, it's sort of cherry. It's sort of black cherry cinnamon.
Ooh.
Yeah, and also some.
He will join Mabel.
Yeah,
That sounds real good.
mulled spices as well, like the mulled spice packet on top of that. Best served warm, room temperature, warm or hot.
I think while people are doing that, Willow will wait for her turn in the bath, and while she's doing that, she takes off the armor and everything, removes her prosthetic arm and just sort of does her stretches and like general PT stuff, and then just start going over those ledgers that she collected with just a fine-tooth comb, looking for any inconsistencies, repeated names, anything that might stand out as being relevant in any way.
I'm gonna type this out.
Oh god, she created an entire ledger for me.
Oh no, just the
Oh yeah.
just the line that's important for the used printing presses. It's a shipping ledger for used printing presses to 111 Dockside Lane in the Fidia Canaster to the Merc Root Coster. Merc root being an edible a root that has lots of uses. It only grows in sort of dark forest with plenty of shade. And the darker and damper the environment, the more this root grows. And it's also the name of this organization. It's a very famous root up in the north.
Okay.
Mostly from the Chillwood, the Yellowa forest.
Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of what Willow does. Once it's her turn in the bath, she'll do that, and I
Mhm.
imagine she'll probably end up accidentally falling asleep in the tub.
Aw.
Done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always
Do
get so
we need to
nervous.
check on you to make sure you don't
Yeah,
drown?
I always get so
Don't
nervous
drown,
about that.
please.
Roll for drowning.
Mm.
I imagine she's propped up in a way where she's not going to. It's not a swimming pool. I think she'll be okay.
Fair enough. You can have your arms resting outside, but
Arm
everyone.
singular.
Yeah. The rooms are they're not like extravagant. They're essentially like being at a coster. They're very simple, wood frame cot beds. Um, they've been made as comfortable as possible. The most luxury is in the washroom. The basic wood frame beds and blankets are very standard, wool blankets and very standard, average pillows. But there is a certain very palpable sense of serenity and calm that comes with staying at a coster like this. It's quiet. There is a garden, a very lush garden with Kairusian plants. And for Amina and Mabel, you all feel very much at home here in the embassy. There
That's
is
where sleeping is in the garden.
oh, there is the two-headed draconic heraldry that emblazons of the red and orange that emblazons the walls here. There are other flags representing the four houses of Eladris that Amina immediately kind of takes comfort in. Some semblance of home. There are symbols of the Kylid elves, the emblem of the great tree that is on the center of sort of a green and white tapestry, as well as the symbol of a spade and bow on either side of the tree. And then the crown atop the tree, the elvish crown, sort of interwoven pattern, very natural design. And there are just little knickknacks here and there that might remind both of you of Karnos, of the great cities of Alexandros and Pyros, and the Razor Peninsula, and the 5 settlements along the coast as well.
I think after her bath, Amina gives in to that pull. And, well, she doesn't fully go out into the courtyard, but she does stand in the moonlight that's coming in through their window, and she just plays almost like a song of mourning for Stephen and Eric, because I don't know who that is they took to the hospital, but it wasn't the Eric she met in the bar. So she does play just a song of mourning for them both. And the scent of that mulled wine is very nice, but she knows if she drinks anything, she will, because she doesn't drink, it's going to be interesting, and now is not the time to find out what they're like when they're drunk. So she goes to bed afterwards and just crawls into bed next to Dawn and starts her trance.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful song, and the music fills all of your ears as Amina plays into the night. Aravena just enjoying all of it. And it looks over to you, the blindfold still off. Gives you a small, sort of a quaint smile. Play very beautifully, daughter of Eladris.
Thank you. One day it'll be enough.
I'm sure one day it will be. There was a time when my people were devoid of songs, and the songs that we sang were those of sorrow. We overcame. It was centuries in the making. But eventually things do get better.
Thank you for sharing this moment with me.
Will you play me another song? Well, play another song for everyone. I'm simply taking advantage of this talent.
I think I have one more in me.
Be it for me or for whatever sparks that artistic magic.
Yeah, when she starts to play, she's not even sure what's gonna happen. Like what song is gonna come out. It's not upbeat, but it is slightly happier, I think.
Okay. The rest of y'all just immediately conk out. As the second song is playing, Harmony, are you doing anything specific before bed?
Do we have separate rooms or are we sharing a room?
Separate rooms.
Okay. Then Harmony is doing a regular check that she would often see her stepfather do when he'd just come back from either really intense combat or just something very like high strung and emotional, which is like checking the doors, checking the windows, making sure that if the bed isn't positioned in a way where she can have her back not facing the door or the window, she will move it to leave herself in like the most opportune place should she ever get attacked. She makes sure that even as she's kind of getting disrobed and ready to calm down for the night, that she has a dagger on her thigh still, and one underneath the pillow of her bed and one underneath the mattress.
Mhm.
She's being very, it's almost therapeutic for her to be this methodical and calculated before getting ready to go to bed. But she's just trying to piece together the emotions of everyone downstairs and what it can possibly mean. And there's almost like a detachment from it. Like she can't really connect with it in a way that they are. But after everything's done, she'll settle down for bed.
So you're all, it's the whole facility is only one floor, so you're all kind of on the ground level with each other. So it's like that sense of connection, but also like Harmony disconnecting in her own room. Okay. Anything else that Harmony wants to do before bed?
Nope.
Okay, so we've got her dagger and her rituals and everything.
Yeah.
Pete, anything you want to do before bed?
He has some mulled wine. And after sharing a glass and listening to Amina play, the tome comes out once keys there and fingers just running along the page that has the note in it, as I'm sure has been lingering often. And then they sigh, they close, and they do a little meditation before crawling into a sleep.
With Mabel kind of snoring off in the grass. Aravina looks to Amina again and, will you tell me of your home?
There's so much color. It's not like here. We share everything. Not just things that we need. We share memories and secrets and laughter. We share sorrows. We share everything, and there's color and music and joy. The suns shine brighter at home. The water sparkles differently. It tastes differently. It could be the hottest day in the summer or the coldest day in the winter. And there is always a place for everyone. It's not perfect. But it has so much beauty. I can't understand why the people here don't want to see it for themselves before passing judgment. That's not to say that all of the Kyrosian Empire is like home, but there are places, and it's all just worth seeing for yourself. How different things can be when you choose love and beauty above all.
There are tears in her eyes, and she kind of looks over and just kind of puts a hand on your shoulder before kind of holding her hands together on the side rail that overlooks the courtyard, and she says, "You speak as if a priestess of Elustre herself. I would very much like to visit your homeland. It seems like we have a lot in common. The elves of the Crimson Wood know beauty and life and starlight. Perhaps one day I could see yours. Sounds beautiful."
Welcome all who share the joys of life and love and beauty.
We've only just met, but I feel like we have so much in common. It's good to meet a friend this far away from home, and you being even farther. Things I've learned to appreciate. There is more to seeing than seeing, and it sounds like where you are from, the place that I would have to experience. The sooner the better.
It'll be nice to send on somewhere where she is loved. And to see how much she grows when I finally go back home.
Beautiful aspiration. You're a good person. You're the right person for Dawn.
Now Amina's crying.
And your family sounds like they are also perfect for Dawn.
Thank you.
Harmony,
Yeah, Nikki's crying.
It was very pretty.
It was so sweet. I want to go there.
as sleep comes to all of you, you still have the jar.
Ooh, yes, I do.
I forgot about the jar.
And what's your passive perception again?
Hoo boy, 11.
Okay.
Oh no.
What are you about to set loose on the embassy?
Oh, no.
I could have gone home, you guys.
We all should have just gone to Harmony's house.
Oh, that would have been a wild ride. I thought about it.
Dawn was already asleep. I had to get back to my daughter, sister, niece.
I love that. My daughter, sister, niece. As you're walking through Harmony, you find yourself walking through a barren wasteland. There is... The ground beneath your feet is nothing but dry clay, cracked dry clay and ash. The sky above you is roiling with thunderous, dark clouds and static storms. The sun barely lights the surface, and it has a blue tinge to it. There are dried, barren bones that stretch for miles, and they are interspersed with metal, cogs and wheels, and scraps of jagged amalgamations that don't make sense, that are just wrong. In the distance, you can see a massive white castle of off-white and metallic steel and bits of red and crimson that seem to accentuate the landscape before you. There are puddles of what seem to be black ichorous substance sort of spread out all around you in every direction, these isolated small puddles. What do you do?
Can Harmony begin like kneeling down to kind of reach out and touch these strange, machinations and amalgamations that she doesn't really understand, like almost out of curiosity?
Yeah, it's jagged steel, jagged metal, cold to the touch.
Oh dear. Don't roll. You don't need to roll. Who needs to roll? No one needs to roll.
As you kind of you cut your finger on one of the sharp edges, and as you do, You look down and you can see this sort of black ichorous substance that is now sort of like wrapping its way around your right leg. It's black, oily substance.
Does it feel like it's burning or?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, she's she's gonna like try and yank her
Oh.
leg away from it, like just try and stumble back, and is kind of like, what the fuck?
You stumble back and you stumble into someone who catches you.
She slowly turns around.
You can see before you a similar that you recognize in sort of flashes. In greens and blacks, a brunette figure with hair tied back into a ponytail. You can see one half of her face is scarred all the way down, and her body on one side also kind of scarred and withered. And she has sort of long metallic fingernails on one side. And the other side of her face is soft and feminine. And she looks down at your leg and looks back up at you. And you can see now how the whole sort of left side is kind of completely scarred and almost lifeless, like a mummy. And the other side kind of imperfect. And with her right hand that is, again, sort of intact, and she has those sort of metallic finger ring spikes.
Mm-hmm.
She looks down at this viscous substance and just puts her hand directly into your chest and caves your chest in.
And Harmony can feel this.
Yes,
right?
The breath is sucked out of your body, like,
Yeah.
and you feel this vice grip on your heart, and then you have the sensation like your heart stops beating, like you're falling through the floor.
Harmony tries gasping for air desperately.
You try gasping, and the world around you just gives way, and you feel yourself falling and falling, and you hit the ground. And you are in a steel and silver cathedral, a small one. That same arid landscape around you, thunder and storms. Your body is numb. And you can look up and you see there is a stone and there is a sort of a stone and metal altar before you, of which there seems to be a skull. And there is a substance writhing around the skull, and you can see it is moving quickly, and the skull seems to be growing a spinal column.
Harmony just tries to bring herself up standing and is looking around this place with wide eyes of panic, because I don't think Harmony's ever come or ever experienced being that close to death before.
You are still gasping for air, and you hear, "Let go. Let go." The black ichor is now kind of snaking its way up, and you can feel yourself gasping for air and trying to hold on, and that burning is now increased tenfold as it is sort of wrapped around and squeezing your waist and sort of burning your skin like acid. Hear that voice, "Let go."
Screaming. She is tearing at herself, at this ichor, at her skin. She is screaming and no. And it's just like, doesn't want to feel this, doesn't want to be here, and is genuinely terrified for the first time in a while.
If you don't let go, the plague will take you. This is the only way.
I don't want to die.
It is undeath. It is neither living nor dead, but it is the only way to escape them. They are coming for all of you. And your devils and your angels and your gods will be powerless to stop them when they arrive. Must let go.
Can
Now
Harmony...
creeping up, like coming up to your neck.
I know everything's super tense. Can Harmony insight check this, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
If this isn't like
Absolutely.
some eldritch entity car salesman, like, we'd like to contact you about your
Oh,
car's
yeah.
extended warranty.
Yep.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Insight. That is a 18.
Yeah, and she's trying to help you, and she says, there is only one thing that the Eldritch Ones fear, and it is them. Even the great old ones fear them. But we become more. There is an answer to all of it. And the oil is like coming up to your neck now.
Feeling that this voice is trying to help her. Much against how much her body wants to fight. She tries to relax even though the pain is brutal, and closes her eyes and tries her best to just do as she says. Let go.
You let go. You feel yourself slipping into darkness. You fall and you drift. And the darkness turns to stars around you. The storms above you give way, and the land beneath your feet begins to sprout new life. But it is different. It is metallic. It is a symmetry of life and synthesis, of life and death. And as the stars and the ground and the landscape suddenly fades, you feel yourself drift upwards. And as your vision shifts, you turn and you can see another woman with black eyes and raven hair and very similar attire to what the other was wearing. Mostly green, black blades on her elbows and on her knees, and tubes that seem to connect into her shoulders, similar to the other. She looks sad. And she cries black tears. And you are face to face with her. She looks up at you. And just kind of, almost in a horror movie way, just kind of lunges forward straight at you and gets forehead to forehead and just still looking sad. Save me. And then you wake up, gasping for air and breath. And as you look to the small end table, the jar is now sitting atop it. And inside of that jar is what appears to be a mesh flexible mask in the shape of a human face. And that's where we're going to end the session for the evening.
Oh my god.
Huh?
Have fun with that.
What do you mean? Oh my god, I'm sweating.
That was so intense.
Oh, and as it's morning, and just for a little teaser for next time, y'all hear a knock, sort of banging on the door, and just, Dragon Keepers! The Lawmaster says time's up, vacation's over. He wishes to see you before lunch. The note for next session, so we have some guidance.
Just
Yeah, I
want to do a
imagine-
shopping montage with my
Yeah,
daughter.
yeah.
That's all.
Vacation, yeah.
But
sure.
yeah, otherwise, there is now a face in the shape of a mask in the jar.
That's fine.
Yeah, just a fully shaped mask that you could take and you could put on like a
Oh, you should
Don't do that.
I
Don't do that.
Ooh,
Don't do that.
Ooh,
put it on.
ooh,
Right.
but I wanna. Ooh, but I wanna wear
Can I
mask.
insight check an inanimate object?
Does the
Um,
mask look nice?
We should give it to Darius.
No. Don't give
Oh.
Well, let's go around the table and in reverse order, and let everyone know where we can find y'all in the meantime. So, Garnet, what are you up to, and where can the people of the internet find you? What's your next project?
Okay, so you can find me at Ashton Brienne pretty much everywhere. I am active more so on Twitter than I am Instagram, so if you're feeling bored or if you have an idea, I make movies in my spare time. I am a filmmaker. So if you have anything going on, hit me up. I am actually filming a mystery this upcoming weekend. So that's how I spend my weekends when I'm not here making movies. I'm very tired, but that's okay because it's worth it. But yeah, I also I have my link tree, and if anybody's feeling generous, because in a couple of weeks I will be heading out to LA for a little bit. I don't mind gifts
Gifts are always nice. Please send
or
something.
visits.
Yes.
I also like meeting people. That's always cool.
Please send love and something nice to our friend Garnet. So yeah, you can. It's all in the link tree, and you can again send some love and get something nice for our friend Garnet there. So thank you, Garnet, and Nikki.
This was so intense. Nikki, I am Coyote Witch on Twitter, a Coyote Witch pretty much everywhere else. My brain is not working right now because I'm just full of a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
I have nothing going on right now because all of my life is just packing because I am moving from Florida to Missouri for some reason. That's a lot. So we're packing up this whole house, and that's all I've been doing. That's my life. That's my life now is cardboard boxes and bubble wrap. So yeah, you can find me spiraling into panic over on my Twitter for the most part. Just lots of screaming. That's it.
That's what Twitter's for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nikki. And Avalon.
Hi. Yeah. I'm Avalon. I voice act for Faustian Nonsense for the most part. But I'm also found many other places. Most frequently, I stream D&D, of course, here, twice every couple weeks. Fun announcement as well, Super Suits has finally had its public release. The first episode came out last Monday on February 6th, and subsequent episodes will release every 2 weeks. So the next one should be on the 20th of February. Yeah, after more than a year, we're finally out. It should be anywhere your podcasts can be found. Just to recap, Super Suits is about a law office in a comic book universe. Lots of cool queer rap. The main character is non-binary, as are several other characters. It's great. It's a great time. We managed to get all the way through our crowdfunding and hit all of our stretch goals too, so it's pretty hyped. There's gonna be a musical episode. Late
awesome.
season. Yeah, it's so flippin' cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to talk about stuff sometimes, so But
All right. All right. Thank you, Avalon and Rory.
You can find me at the RGB Vision on most things. I say every week, ooh, I'm gonna stream more. And I never end up doing it, but I really do want to. My commissions are always open, but honestly, lately it's just I've been working on myself, That's all I can do.
Same. Yeah.
Good.
All right. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Harmony, Renee at No Ordinary Heroes. What you got going on?
Hey, so No Ordinary Heroes, we heckin' stream stuff every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Am I crazy? Yes. We do indie video games. Sometimes I play Overwatch. Sometimes I play Genshin Impact. Sometimes I play Genshin Impact a lot. There's a trend. So if you want to see me and my VTuber self, my PNG tuber self, hanging out on channel, just vibing with chat and being bullied by my chat, then you're more than welcome to join.
Hashtag save Rekka.
Yes. Yeah, don't play the game, just save Rekka. Oh my god. But yeah, thirst after cute waifus and husbandos with me. That's the invitation.
And your stream is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the what was that game again?
Oh, Hi-Fi Rush?
Hi-Fi Rush, yeah.
God, I love that game so much. I could gush about it for days.
Well, thank you everyone again. And if you're just lurking and want to join our Discord, if you want to hang out with other queer witches who love tabletop role-playing games, you can join us here in our Discord and hang out with all of these lovely folks and see what they have going on in real time. Plenty of room for everyone to promote all their stuff in the self-promo channel, any of your projects, Twitch streams, etc. It's a place to be queer, to do crime, and yeah, be queer, do crime, and also kind of a safe space. So feel free to come and vibe and hang out and share what you have going on. Share any projects that you have. And yeah, in the meantime, we're going to raid our friends over at Terran Rogue. They're playing Elden Ring. Cool.
Ooh.
All right, well, have a good night, everybody. We'll see y'all back here in 2 weeks. We have the return of Stormwatch in the world of Valerian, in the Heavensfire world. And also, laptop just shut up. Weird.
It says we're done. Good night.
Okay. Good night, everybody. All right.
Bye.
Bye.